The following
Yeah.
content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others. Thank you.
Cash show up yet? Where's Cash Money?
I don't know. Maybe he's sleeping.
Yeah.
It is Sunday after all.
Yeah. Twitter warrior. He's that Twitter warrior. You know, grinding my gears? Yeah.
No, I was in Vaughn's and I was looking for the Forbidden Donuts. And they said, hey, have you heard of this guy Baron? And they're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, me either.
He's here. He's here. Everybody, we can do a show now. Phil's going to be sad. Cash is here.
We're going to do the show whether he's here, whether I'm here, whether you're here.
That's right.
Yeah, well,
Pirate flag needs to be raised, then it will be raised.
Well, you know me. I show up only when I feel like it. I'm not that reliable.
Right.
I just don't want to be talked about.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to this edition of Pacific414 Pop Talk here on this Sunday, streaming to you live from the Pacific414 YouTube channel, the Pacific414 Rumble channel, the Pacific414 Twitter channel, along with Baron Orman Tag's Facebook and YouTube page, and also the Phantom Hooligans. And speaking of Cash and Baron, they're here with me as we will be talking about a few stories this Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning or Sunday evening, depending on where you're located in the world. Or it could be Monday already.
No!
Yes, Baron. Yes.
I think for Jace it is Monday now.
Yes. But
Jace.
For today, we will be talking about an article from comicbook.com. Helldivers 2 players get to decide which new stratagem gets added to the game. We will also talk about Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered undoes inadvertent censorship.
Yeah.
Which will then... Go ahead, Baron. Go ahead.
I just said inadvertent. Ha ha ha. Yeah. I just laughed at that joke.
That'll lead into an article from Bounty in the Comics where the director of Stellar Blade, come on, Mike, speak. I know it's Sunday morning, but speak.
Blade?
Responds to the patch and the changes to the updated design for the holiday rabbit outfit and is claiming that it was always intended. I don't know about you guys, but I don't quite buy it. But what I will say from my own gameplay experience playing the game on Friday, I'm liking the game so far.
Too bad you got all the volumes control for Beverly Hills 414 because I was going to play George Carlin for that last one. So, but I'll do it now. I call bullshit. There we go.
That works too. And then we'll read an article from Variety, and it says Harvey Weinstein's 2020 conviction overturned by New York Appeals Court. We'll find out the details as to why that was done. And on Thursday, Roboson announced its first auto-transforming Decepticon. None other than Megatron, leader of all the Decepticons. Yeah, I still got to add that transition for when we're going from one story to the next. I haven't done it yet.
Disappointed. Yeah. So you're a slacker, just like Marty McFly. Slacker.
Mm-hmm. You're a slacker, McFly.
You're a slacker like your old man. No McFly has ever amounted to anything in the history of Hill Valley.
Wouldn't it be
history's going to change.
Don't be so gullible, McFly.
Wouldn't it be McPacific in this case?
Ah.
I The technicalities. But first, I do want to say hello to TGAP Steve, who does have the latest episode of Beverly Hills 414. What sort of weird, crazy shenanigans does Steve have us in this time? I don't know. We'll find out together.
Yes, we will.
I need to
And let's
talk
see
to
who
my
else
agent.
has popped in. We have everybody's favorite penguin besides Punkwaddle.
Yep.
Low spec
Two
Linux
penguins
laptop.
enter. One penguin leaves.
Two penguins enter. One penguin
leaves.
Yep. Mhm.
So let me cue up the music and we'll get underway with this latest story. And Baron, would you mind reading today's latest episode?
Oh, you want me to read today? My docile tones. Should I do it like NPR and see? Okay. Oh, whenever you're ready. Oh, listen to that. Who was the genius to come up with that song? I tell you, they need an award, big time award. They need to have the. No, I need a Tubi. I need a daytime Tubi. There we go. The Tubi Awards. Yes, how's that stuff? So just sit back and say that previously on Beverly Hills 414, Mike had finally managed to dodge baggage trains of people, the 3 carts, and several rampant children. The Pepsi guy with his pallet jack, and get out of the dry food sections. Oh, that's right. You were in the dry food section. Yeah, I have meat there.
Remember, I was going into the grocery store. I was trying to get other cookies besides the Girl Scout cookies that the Girl Scout Cookie Ninjas were selling.
Right, exactly. I mean, sometimes we need to have a recap, on the previous episode. Okay, well, kind of this is what we're doing. He had a little problem moving through the beer and wine area, as I do too. I mean, there we go.
You always get stuck there, man. What the heck?
Yeah. I mean, my liver hates me for it, but it still begs me. It's like it taunts me. It taunts me, my liver. Okay. Yeah. But he had a little problem moving through the beer and wine area when he got stuck behind a rather nice backside who was heading towards him, towards the greeting cards. But he had made it. Meat.
Oh.
Yeah, how you like that there? Now I got to move back up to the proper comments because I turned on the volume. He felt there should be a heavenly chorus and bright lights overhead as he stood there. Ribeyes, bacon, T-bones, pork chops, bacon, chuck steaks, chicken. Did we mention bacon? Yes. Even slabs of ham, spare ribs with barbecue sauce, Sweet Baby Ink, racks of lamb, and giant sausages. It was a vegan's hell. It was all he could do to avoid just dumping armloads into his cart. Kind of like a Supermarket Sweep, if you remember that show. It's like they go for those big logs of salami. Salami, big logs. Calm down, Mike. You only have so much space to store meat. Okay. Phrasing.
Yeah. Your wording, your phrasing on this TGAP. I might have to have a talk with you.
Yeah. You know what? I think we need to get that Archer clip of Archer going phrasing, and you still have to make it out the door and back home without being ambushed by the Cookie Ninjas. Best pick the best cuts, and of course, bacon naturally. His major indulgence was he bought a dinner for 2 with bacon wrapped steak, sausage nibblers, and some sides of all in one box. If he was lucky, he could have someone at, or maybe after, dinner. Ooh. Sorry, a little Married with Children sitcom audience action. Baron wished that Baron wished that the loaner car could drive above the speed of smell because If it was a little faster, perhaps the scent of all the prior occupants would blow out the windows
Wait,
rather than linger.
come,
Wow.
what the fuck? All right.
So the dealership never sprays the inside with some
Oh
new
yeah.
car scent.
You get in the car. Oh, you like that smell? Yeah, it smells like
Ooh.
bacon. I'm ready to go.
Bacon. Well, I wouldn't mind if it smelled like bacon.
That new bacon
That
smell,
new
right?
bacon
Yes.
New bacon smell. You need that. I'd buy a car just off of that. Even if it's an 87 Yugo. I go in there. Oh, it smells like bacon. Sold.
Bacon.
Sold. Bacon. But, I'm thinking it's more like smell of body odor.
Yeah.
BO.
Oh,
Yeah,
man, yeah.
And you got to remember, Jace is with me, so who knows? I mean, love you, Jace. Anime Jace was directing him to go where to go. Turn here. Go there. Eat. It was just like a Sunday driver with the XXXXX
X?
miss.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, how does he know how many ex-wives I have? And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5. It's 7. 7 ex-wives.
Seven ex-wives.
Yeah, that's why I'm living in a van down by the river.
Yes.
Here, I thought you were Mormon.
Well, then they wouldn't be exes. But can you imagine a Mormon divorce? Ooh, boy, all the way down to the cursing. She was a firecracker. Beep! Stop! Beep! 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 Anime Jay said, after which broke Baron out of his remembering just how wild she got after those Sunday drives, and the car stopped. Baron knew this part of town. It used to be called Chinatown till it was bought by Mexican cartels, who were in turn bought out by a Japanese interest. Poquito Asia Berg.
What? Where's this going, Steve?
Steve,
I ask you that every
every
Hill
week,
now.
man.
Well, where's
Does
this
it-
going?
I'm
I
with
don't
Mike.
know.
Where is this going?
Is that where they have basically, let's see, so they have taco, wonton, sushi. Is that what you try to sit back and say that's their big specialty? I don't know. So, are you going to tell me what the dire emergency is? Baron asked, and Anime Jace got out of the car and moved to a tea stall. Prince! Hey, Prince! Beep, beep, Prince! He called out at the occupant. Is he dead? Baron asked again with a lump of person grunt. When the lump of person grunted and snored loudly to rattle the window. No! Beep,
Hey,
beep, beep!
it's Chris Maddox. He's sleeping.
Yeah.
Let him sleep,
just-
okay?
Is just sleeping, Anime Jason. And you know why, Baron? They are back. Baron stopped and looked at the look on Anime Jace had, and he knew precisely who the man was talking about. No way. They can't be. Anime Jace just gave a more pointed look. Beep! Was all Baron replied. Now I'm taking after Jace. Meanwhile, Crypto pulled off the road and into a parking lot. His foul mood hadn't abated, and he knew if he kept driving, he was likely to drive into something that would damage the car.
Well,
Wasn't he always?
if Crypto's in a bad mood, I guess, but you got rules of the road, man.
Well, isn't he always in a bad mood? I mean, really, honestly, every time we start out,
You know what really grinds my gears?
honestly, we got to be honest. We really do.
The guy's dark and mysterious. It says so in the song.
Right, dark and mysterious. Mm-hmm. Yet another expense was something he didn't really need right now. He might have to open that second money bin. Not on top of every bit of nickel and dime he'd been bled out today. He inhaled deeply when his phone rang once again. What? Do you have any idea on just how annoying this is? First you set up a trap, but you didn't really. But you should have. And I spent all day dealing with it. Damn it, Phil.
Wait. Why would
I
okay.
don't know anymore. I do not know anymore where this
why
story
would
is going.
why would I call up and ask about a trap? And say,
Where's my shogun? Oh no, you can't even be bothered to show up and spring the trap when I was in it. You didn't even know, did you? You then have the tits to call me after it and challenge me to fight.
when would I ever? Okay, Crypto's.
Yeah, TGAP. We're gonna have to talk after the show.
Oh my goodness, I
Well-
don't remember using the word tits, but it's just like I don't think Baron would. Okay.
Oh boy.
I use the word tits sometimes. So, boobies.
Yeah, not that way though.
Yeah.
I can't see.
No. Or does he? On top of that, you dare keep calling and don't take the hint that I am in no mood for this nonsense today. Well, speak up. What the hell do you have to say for yourself? Crypto was very angry. Sir, I was actually calling to talk to you about signing up for a great opportunity in real estate investments. And Crypto hung up. Great. He had just ranted against a telemarketer. And what's wrong with that? Bravo,
What's wrong
man.
with that? Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for this Crypto.
Yeah. His phone rang again, checking the caller ID this time. Crypto answered, but having blown his angry load on the telemarketer. Freezing!
Angry.
No.
Wait, but having blown.
TGAP, please
Come on,
to Mike's office. TGAP, you're needed in Mike's principal's office now.
Yeah, TCAP, this has to be an alternate universe because none of us talk like this.
I have to remember that, though. Blowing his angry load. I got to write that down and have that for some future time. No telemarketer is truly innocent. He just listened. Crypto, are you there? Crypto grunted. Are you mad at me? Crypto heard the words inside. No, Phil, I'm not mad, just very disappointed. So how much meat can Mike fit in his pantry before he's forced to host
Wait. Who puts their meat in the pantry? Really?
Well, dried
Really?
meat. Dried meats.
Maybe dry meats, but come on, I'm getting meat from the supermarket, Baron. I'm not gonna put it in the pantry. I'm either gonna put it in the fridge because I'm gonna cook it either that day or the next day, or I'm gonna put it in the freezer.
That's right.
What about your meat locker that you got? I mean, there you go.
I don't have a meat locker.
You need a meat locker. That's your next addition to your house, okay?
You're the one that has the meat locker.
I wish. Oh, that'd be great. Meat locker. Go in there and take my frustrations out on the side of beef. Pow,
Hey, yo.
like Rocky.
Yeah,
Hey, Rocky, you hitting that meat again? Polly, yeah, Polly.
It's called tenderize. I'm tenderized.
If that's Family Guy did something like that. Hey, Rock, I'm having sex with the meat. Polly, you might want to not do that to the meat. Hey, Rock. It's so
Whoa, now we really went to a stream here. Thank you, Cash.
I know.
Thanks,
Okay,
TGAP Steve. Now you got Cash going in the direction that we probably should be going on Sunday, but we already have, so it's too late.
He is slowly turning.
I'll show you that. I'll show you that clip later, Baron. You'll laugh your ass off. But
I'm sure you will. As long as that's Sailor Moon. And
no, it won't be.
Thank you. And will he perhaps wind up with a special barbecue for two?
Oh, for two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who are they? They, them? Is that like the new pronoun thing? We'll find out. That anime Jace is talking about. And why does Baron know who they are? Simply by inference. Are they that dangerous? What was that really great real estate investment deal? And why didn't Crypto jump on it like a starving cat on a penguin? Sorry about that little
pigeon,
speck.
Right? Oh, you said penguin. You mean pigeon?
Penguin. Oh, pigeon. Sorry, it looked like a penguin. I'm not awake. I'm not awake either. Sorry. But you know what? Witcher would be fun. Penguin would be funnier. Um, oh, these answers
These
and more.
answers and more as Beverly Hills
Oh.
414 continues after these messages. And to answer your question, Pops, TGAP Steve is the one who's been writing this fan fiction. And every
Hey,
episode,
Pop.
I keep wondering, where's this going? And I say it out loud now. I don't keep it to myself. I just say it out loud. Steve, TGAP Steve, Big Daddy TGAP, where the hell is this story going?
I mean,
But
I hope
speaking-
I hope he's keeping this in a
Mhm.
Word document or something, because really, honestly, this should be published almost on one of our pages. I mean, this is a great.
You know what the common question is going to be? WTF?
Yeah.
Always.
Hey, can you imagine us turning? And we should get crit. We should turn this into an animated thing, and and then put it on the.
While the orca is swimming. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pop Talk heals and saves. Well, that's according to this man, Crit. 3 blind mice. Come see these dum-dums run.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You know what?
Where's my crackers?
Phil. Phil. You know what?
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And look, he's whining. He's whining.
Oh, give me a
Oh,
break,
boy.
Phil.
And then when we ask, hey, you want to play with us? I'm not going to play with you guys. Okay, that's
Yeah, because he has the game, doesn't he? And he doesn't want to play. It's like, okay,
He has the game, but
he is on Epic.
we've offered to have
Yeah.
him join, but no.
Yeah.
If it's not Myth Force, he's not playing.
Right.
Let's just face the
Or
truth,
Fallout
Phil.
76.
If it's
Mm-hmm.
if it's not either one of those games, you're not playing.
That's
Or
right.
even Among Us on those rare occasions, which we
Yeah,
need to do again sometime. We got.
Yeah, he does play that. He has played that. Yeah.
Phil
Yeah.
McCracken's an elitist.
Yeah, he is.
He's an elitist.
Well, he's from Delaware. What do you expect?
Mm-hmm.
He lives in the corner of Brandon Falls and in Corn Pop Street.
That's right.
But wait a minute, Core Pop's a bad dude.
I know,
He is.
very much so. Boy, we got a lot of people today in the chat. Hey, everybody, how you doing?
Hope everyone is doing well on this Sunday. Hope you're able to get out there and enjoy the nice weather, depending on where you're at. I know some areas are still cold, but hopefully
Mhm.
that warm weather is just around the corner for you.
And of course, keeping in thoughts and all that, people in Nebraska and Iowa that are getting hit hard with those freaking tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the other day, I saw that the town of Elkhorn was flattened in that concern, because I thought that was at first Elkhorn, Iowa, a town that I used to do some Viking Age reenactment at, and they have this little Viking house and all that. But it was Elkhorn, Nebraska, which I still feel sorry that they got leveled there in Nebraska. They're not that far apart, maybe about an hour or so apart.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just terrible. It's 48.9 here, which is about what the high is. Wet, rainy, windy. Yeah, Arthur loves this weather.
And TGAB says, so does that give Baron the power to time out the world and do stuff? I'm not sure I trust him with that power. Well, he's got the power.
I have the power.
But our first story that we're going to get into today comes to us from Comic Book News and comicbook.com.
Ooh.
And it's related to a game that Cash and Baron and Spock were playing Friday night. I played a little bit after the Stellar Blade stream, excuse me, that I had,
hmm
and
Then we unceremoniously kicked you out to have a random play. So
oh well, it happens.
actually, it was the game that did it. To be honest, and, yeah.
But you guys fought for democracy, for Super Earth, bugs and robots,
Just
all
bugs.
coming to get you.
Yeah,
all
just
coming to
bugs.
get
I'm not ready for those damn robots yet, especially when we tried.
No,
that.
no, we
Okay.
tried it the other day, and you were like, and I were like,
Oh.
nope,
No, we're out of here. Bye.
abort, abort.
We'll be ready Friday.
I just want to stay with the bugs for now.
The robots just want a hug, guys. They just want a hug.
Oh, they hugged all right. They hugged.
Right. This article is by Tanner Deadman. It was posted on the 27th. It says Helldivers 2 players get to decide which new stratagem gets added next. Helldivers 2 players believed recently that Arrowhead Game Studios was teasing them with some new stratagems, and it seems they were correct, albeit with a twist. There are 2 new stratagems on the table, but players only get one of them, and the community gets to pick. Sorry. The current major order in Helldivers 2 tasks players with liberating one of 2 planets, with one awarding everyone the MD-17 anti-tank mines, and the other granting players the RL-77 airburst rocket launcher.
Woo.
The major order hasn't been completed yet, but it's looking like it's going to be the RL-77 airburst rocket launcher. Good, good. I'd like to use a rocket launcher in that game.
Mm-hmm. It makes a mess. We like messes.
That gets unlocked. Liberating the planet Chewie, that's what I'm going to call it. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce, but that's what I'm going to call it. Chewie.
Mm-hmm.
Get you the mines, while liberating Penta equals the rocket launcher. Aside from the very general assumption that players probably want something they can shoot rather than something more tactical like mine, players have already made it to Penta to start liberating that planet. While Chewie isn't accessible yet due to players needing to jump from a neighboring planet first, well, things could of course change before the major order. The airburst rocket seems like the front runner right now. Well, yeah, we want a rocket to blow stuff up.
Mm-hmm. You know, that name is, if you take the H out, it'd be Coochie. Coochie, Coochie, Coochie. Like Charles. Maybe it's Charles' home planet.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If you head to the game's various forums, such as the subreddit, however, you'll see Helldivers 2 players cautioning others about the airburst rocket launcher and its destructive power. Numerous posts have been shared in the Helldivers 2 subreddit showing players using the airburst rocket launcher ahead of its official release, with most of those clips ending in full teams, or at least the users getting totally wiped out by the launcher. Mike, you did it again. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Friendly
This thing
fire.
picks the wall up.
Yeah. I can't remember. Did Cash, did you kill me once in the game? Yeah, in the game, people.
Probably, but not.
I think you friendly fire.
I mean, Boar killed some people. Yeah, there was definitely friendly fire. There's always friendly fire, even when you're trying to avoid it.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't run in front of me when I'm shooting at somebody. That I hate that. You're shooting at someone, someone goes right in front of you and you waste them. It's like, well, that's not my fault.
One of my favorite one is I thought I could avoid the drop when it was coming down and it crushed me. Like, I got through it. Nope, I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it was a Looney Tunes cartoon, you would have had that side coming out from underneath the drop, and it would have said help or something.
Mm-hmm.
He would have been walking away like the accordion.
Yeah, like Wile E. Coyote.
Similar to how some players accessed other unreleased parts of the game in the past, it seems some Helldivers 2 players have managed to get their hands on new stratagems by data mining old versions of the game. That's what's
Ooh.
led to some rocket launcher dissent, with players suggesting that maybe the tank mines would be better after seeing how fickle the launcher is. But Helldivers 2 community manager Spitz cautioned against putting too much stock in those unofficial previews of the weapons.
Mhm.
Spitz said in the game's Discord server that both stratagems are technically usable via these data mining efforts, but the versions players are using are depreciated iterations of the stratagems and don't reflect what's planned for the full release.
Mhm.
Whatever choice players make, it seems likely that Helldivers 2 will eventually get both stratagems anyways, since it's difficult to imagine Arrowhead Game Studios just tossing out one stratagem entirely.
Mhm.
Somewhat separate from the stratagem, Spitz also said that the updated version of whatever is chosen will be a major build update coming early next week. So those who've been clamoring for a larger update for Helldivers 2 will finally get their wish in a couple of days.
Okay, cool.
And this game
All
isn't
right.
even that old yet.
No,
I mean, that's
No,
amazing.
but
this
it's
is
popular.
Mhm.
right. Well, it's interesting because the first Helldivers was not a game as a service, and this is, but they're doing a lot of things right. And so, of course, the argument is like, is that mean we should just accept it? I said, well, if they're doing a lot of things right and they're making a lot of the community happy, that's a good thing.
Right.
You're only paying $40, and you don't have to pay any extra money, which is
No.
nice. You can grind for everything in the game.
Right.
Hmm.
Exactly. And that's what's fun about it. It only encourages you to play harder, faster, better,
Yeah.
die in glorious ways. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, playing that, and I know Mike sat back and said he puts it above Dark Tide. I have it about equal. Have it on equal with Dark Tide for fun for me.
Just remember, we can't fly across half the map like when we get kicked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that, but if I'm comparing the two games from their perspectives,
Mhm.
I'm right now I'm liking Helldivers 2 just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to completely go, oh yeah, Dark Tide sucks compared to
No.
Helldivers 2. No,
Right.
they're two completely different style games, but I'm still having
Yes.
fun.
Right.
That's what's important. Controls in the game have to be tight, meaning they have to be responsive, and overall it has to be fun.
Right. And the concept is different. Dark Tide, you're basically underground. It's like a dungeon type crawl, while you're on planet with this one. What was you said about Cash, about how it looks prettier than Starfield, the planet?
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
it's just like when you play stuff like Fallout. Okay, I'm around an area. I want to see nice detail. I don't see.
Yeah.
I'm on a ship. I want to see cool detail. Even stuff like what was it, Skywalker Saga? Just like the levels look nice around the Lego Skywalker Saga, the Star Wars one, but like they're still empty. They should have more detail around them. I think that would be
Mhm.
cool. I
What
mean, even we've seen ships. Look, we talk about Star Trek. We talk about who doesn't want to. I think a lot of people like seeing that detail on anything.
Right.
was it
Yeah.
Blue the other night who said in your chat when we were playing Friday night that Star Wars needed a game like Helldivers?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Mhm.
Mhm. He
Uh,
did say that.
I agree.
It would have worked. It would have worked, but
Mm-hmm.
you
No,
know it's not
it
going to
wouldn't.
happen now.
No, No, it would
Mm-mm.
work. I mean, the best thing we should get, of course, if they're smart, which and they want to make easy money, is just build on whatever the classic Battlefront 2 is and make a 3 like they were going to, and just with
Mhm.
newer graphics like they've done with the other Battlefront games, and just go with that, and make the AI pretty smart like the other ones, and build from there. And game as a service, yeah, $40 game right there.
Mhm.
Unlock this, unlock that. Yeah, of Star Wars, sure. Weapons, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say keep it era specific because I hate seeing where you
Mhm.
have a clone trooper, then you got sequel trilogy stuff running around. No, 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 no.
Right, right.
I don't want to
Yeah,
see any sequel trilogy.
prequels and OT, right? Just like
Right,
before,
right.
yeah. Mhm.
And if they want to have a the new sequel trilogy stuff again, keep it. You don't have to go in that uh, server or whatever to play it.
Yep.
And that's all I have to sit back and say because I'm not interested in that part. But it kind of drives me crazy when you're playing like the new Battlefront stuff, and it's like it's so anachronistic to, you know, you have Kylo Ren battling Grievous, or I mean,
Well,
I'm just
yeah,
going out of my head, but
it's just like here, like just give us more. I think it's just always we've had more, so we
yeah,
should always get more. And more as in, things that are obviously reasonable. They don't have to go insane, but yeah, I
right,
mean, you should have so many heroes and villains in Battlefront 2 that it should make your head spin.
yeah,
From if you're going to put all the sequel stuff in there, put all the prequel stuff, all these different characters, even characters that were not seen much. It's like, oh, cool, a new Jedi. Like, I don't know much about this guy. Let me look him up, or this
mhm,
female, or whatever. Yeah, I mean, they just a whole list of characters. But once again, that game started as like more of a gambling thing, and then they had to fix it.
yeah,
And
hmm
it's just, it's still not the classics, man. I mean, that's why they're the classics. I mean, you could play that same map with AI, and they're pretty smart. They go right to the control point. They're defending it, and it's like that's how it should always be. And even the
hmm
collection that came out, even though they have a patch, and I'm glad they're patching and fixing things, it's like it's still
yeah.
not as good as the modded version of Battlefront 2 that people enjoyed.
Well,
So,
yeah, and they also put it out there that there's less than 100 people playing the online for
oof.
the remaster. But basically, it's a dead game. I mean,
Mhm,
anyone was hoping that'd be fixed and such. Well, it's dead. They're not going to get people coming back.
mhm,
They made people mad. The only complaint I have with Helldivers is a little bit of the same, as the Battlefront 2,
mhm.
1 2, uh, with the server, because it seems like they didn't realize how popular this game is. And
Right.
when we start going to the quote unquote busy times, like when I was playing earlier in the day, no problem, boom, everything. When it comes to when you get to the evening and people are home and the gamers are out, the servers, it takes a while. It takes a while.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's my
They're
only
gonna have to
complaint.
work on that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that.
and I'm sure they are. I'm sure they
Mhm.
are. I think they're just they're just hugely surprised. It's one of those where we rather build up than have to take away type of thing.
Yeah.
Because
Were
then it
you
means it wasn't popular.
were you just doing solo queue then for that, or were you playing with
Uh,
some randoms?
I was playing with, I find, yeah, I'd be by myself, but I'd join in some of the battles that they have there, with the randoms on there, and of course, watch them play like dwarves and run ahead of everybody else. And it's like, wait, guys.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well, they definitely give you a more freedom than in Vermintide, because you're kind of
yeah,
closed in. You can only go certain
hmm
places, but you got
right.
more freedom. You can be surrounded by the bugs and the robots, though.
Oh,
Mhm.
really? I didn't notice that. Didn't notice that at all.
But it's nice you have that you can dodge and so on, which is
Right.
pretty. It does help.
You
So.
know, basically, all I gotta sit back and say to that cache is,
Mhm.
"Well, I hate this. I hate this."
The hell you say?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah. No, it's a fun game. I'm gonna do some solo queuing myself. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to get up a little bit so I can get some neat stuff.
Oh.
The cosmetics, and that's what's nice. Again, like you said, you grind in there, you can get the cosmetics.
And then we can play offline and then before
Mhm.
Friday and all kinds of stuff. I mean, the game is fun. It just needs to keep
Mhm.
going in the right direction and should keep
I
making
think
a lot of money. Yeah.
I think they are. I think
Mhm.
they're being incredibly smart, and bless them for it. Honestly, bless them, especially in this age where you got BS artists doing games.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? I get to read the next story, folks.
Ooh.
How's that sound?
Well, I'll add to it if you need me to, Baron. So
You are going to add to it. You're not
Okay.
getting out of this. You're not getting out of this at all.
You're not the only one reading, you bastard. I know
Yeah.
your games.
We're going to Niche Gamers, folks.
Yep.
Are they pretty good?
Yeah, they are. They
Okay.
a few years ago they ran into some problems because they were doing some plagiarism, which they shouldn't have. But they got themselves in some trouble in that. The thing that I hate about Niche Gamer is they closed off the comment. It's like, oh well,
Oh yeah.
become a subscriber and now you have to pay $1 a month. It's like, you know what, guys, I don't mind your articles, but
Mhm. Yeah,
Eh.
I mean that's ridiculous, but
it's
they
bad.
people need to have money. We want money.
Yes.
So, what we have here from Niche Gamer, Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered undoes the inadvertent, quote unquote, censorship.
Mhm.
This is by Brandon Little,
Yeah.
dated on the 26th, so that was a couple days ago.
Mhm.
So, and there's Laura, and there's her little pinups there back there. Tastefully done pinups, mind you.
Yeah, they
Tomb
are.
Raider 1, yeah, very much so. I mean, really.
Mhm.
Tomb Raider 1 to 3 Remaster has brought back its cheesecake pinup posters after Aspire Media inadvertently removed them. And well, hello, Leia Rose. Good to see you. And of course, again, it's Aspire,
Hello,
those same
Leia.
ones that we had the big problem with the
Yes, they're the same ones, and they're doing things better now. It's funny. It takes a backlash for people to say, oh, well, hold on a minute.
Mhm. Exactly. You start waking up. They realize, oh, that we don't want to have what happened with Battlefront. We better,
Yeah.
And it's a minor thing, but well, I'll talk about it afterwards. Last week we reported on a change in the latest patch, which removed in-game pinup posters of video game heroine Laura Croft from her remastered game after an outcry from fans. It seemed Aspire decided to bring them back, saying, yes, thank you to the Tomb Raider community for your continued feedback and support of Tomb Raider 1 to 3 Remaster starring Laura Croft. In the recent release patch 2, we made several texture and graphical updates to the HD version. As part of these updates, the posters in Sleeping with the Fishes, Lost Artifacts, were inadvertently removed in the HD version of the game. This has been resolved, and these textures will be restored in patch 3. Please don't hurt us, please. We're sorry. And it's nearly impossible to prove if this initial change really was done inadvertently. But regardless, Aspire has received praise from fans for rolling back the censorship of the game. The posters were upscaled as part of the game's remastering, so it seems unusual for such unique assets, phrasing, to be removed. Yeah, to be removed inadvertently.
Yep.
Here we got DOA Momji or whatever.
Yeah.
I
think that's how you pronounce it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they go, wow, they actually listen to fans. This is extremely rare. But you have my biggest thanks. So that was a nice, quick little story about that. And yeah, after what Aspire pulled off with Battlefront and this,
yeah,
I mean, I realize it's a little thing, but in this age, right? I think video game fans are getting fed up with it because they just hear of anything. They think it's a slippery slope. Rightly so. slippery slope.
And from our perspective, I thought it was a good follow-up to the story that we talked about last Sunday. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a great one.
I found this and I was like, oh, it's just
Yeah,
good.
so
I'm glad to see this.
I,
It's
I,
there's they just it's little things. It's just like the change of the Sonic. Look at how much the Sonic movies
Right.
made. I mean, it's just the
Mhm.
little changes, and people go once again, oh, that's pandering. Yes, but it's pandering the right way, if there is such a thing. But yeah,
well, it's not pandering.
well, I
It's
don't know. Maybe it's
delivering what's
what should be
needed.
promised. I
what's
guess. Yeah,
what's
yeah, you guys.
expected
Yeah, right.
from a
Right.
game like Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean,
we already know that this reversal was made high and large due to fan outcry. Let's
Right.
face
Right.
it.
Yeah.
It was the fans that noticed it
right.
and said, "Hey, why aren't the posters in the HD version?"
Right.
Yeah, you can
Right.
still see the pixelated versions in the original version, but
Mm-hmm.
what
Yeah.
the heck, Aspire?
Right.
Now,
Mhm.
will we actually see that when it comes to Stellar Blade?
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
say it again.
Hmm.
As far as gameplay experience, I'm enjoying my experience from what I've played of the game so far.
Right.
And that's what matters to me. Are the controls good?
Right.
Yeah. That's a big deal, as it should be.
Mhm.
But
Well, that and the story as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sony has been throwing their weight around, shift up, basically complied with Sony in order to get the game sold. And on day one, on digital, the patch was released, and instead of getting, I consider this a modest look for a bikini. This one right here, this
Yeah.
is the original.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Instead of
Pretty
getting this, we're now getting this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
And-
I mean, when
and-
you compare the two,
Mm-hmm.
why even bother adding this to the bikini? Why?
Well, it's just the
We-
same
we-
thing
we-
with the Tifa thing, man. The
We've
sports
seen,
bra. Okay. Yeah.
I know, but
Mhm.
we've seen people in the 70s wearing bikinis like that. 80s
Yeah.
wearing bikinis
Of course.
like this one here.
Yes.
One piece bathing suits like this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farrah Fawcett.
Mm.
She wore a bathing suit like this. I
Mhm.
know because my dad had a poster of her in the
Yeah,
garage.
she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one of the 20th century iconic posters. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you
And
look
let's not
at the,
forget Both Derek and Ted.
Mhm.
Or no, yeah.
Yeah.
Running along on the beach wearing a bathing suit similar to that.
what's the big deal? And yeah, if you want to blame Shift Up, blame Shift Up. But I'm looking squarely at Sony
Mm-hmm.
because Sony is the one that said, "Well, if you don't do it, we're not going to release this game out to the masses." Now, the way I understand it, if you have a physical copy and you don't have it connected to the internet, then your game won't be affected because it can't receive the update.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for me, I elected not to pre-order the game, the physical copy. I instead went with the digital copy after not being able to find a physical copy at my two stores.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that update's in there. Most positive, 100%. And we'll be getting this. But what I'm more concerned about is the gameplay. Will I still continue to have a good gameplay experience?
Mhm.
I'm hoping I do.
I hope you do, man.
Yeah.
I hope you do. It's so funny to me, and I reading some of the comments and not replying to them because it's like you don't want to get into this. Really, you know what's going to happen, but with situations
We
like
know
this,
you.
people. Yeah, I did not. I couldn't push myself to do it. But when people are calling other people incels and oh, this is what you're upset about, go touch some grass. Once again, when something censors something that they like, let's see how they respond to it. Let's see how they respond.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
right, and it's the ones that are making these comments are the ones that probably were the vocal minority that were wanting something. They probably want even more. They probably wanted a burqa, for crying out loud. It's like the robes and the burqa.
Hey, she's
There you
showing
go.
too much leg. Oh, cover up her legs, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We only want to see the eyes, and even no, we don't even want that. We'll have the burqa that doesn't have the covers the eyes too. So
Right.
but
right. It's the same thing. Look, this also went on with Tomb Raider, and even though I don't think Lara Croft in the newer Tomb Raider looks bad, but people were like, "Well, what did they do? Why did they shrink her breasts?" And I understand why people are annoyed by these things. Now, sometimes it's like not a big deal, but when it's something that they like and it gets censored, you watch, they'll just be the same way. So I don't know why you go around calling people incels and names, because, so it obviously offends you enough that somebody's getting upset about this, that they have to call their people names. Yeah.
Well, that's why fans need to push back. If you want
right.
the quote unquote uncensored version of Stellar Blade where nothing's been covered up, where you get this instead of this, then you got to push back, not just against Shift Up, but you also have to push back, especially against Sony.
Yeah.
Sony.
Yeah, you just have to. And when they promise, this goes with any company, when they promise that something is going to be completely uncensored, it needs to be uncensored.
Well, I mean, again, like I said, they think this, and rightly so, we start thinking this is a slippery slope. What will be the next thing that gets censored in the game?
Again.
Because, and it keeps on going and going. So the next patch, we decide, we're going to even make it more modest because, it's sexualization of women or whatever BS they want to sit back and say.
But whatever with men, and this is what the argument is with men, they can be oiled up and whatever and ready to fight and stuff. Okay, then why can't women be just as sexy? Oh, no. Well, then there's definitely a problem there. There's hypocrisy.
Yeah. And second, make us think, no matter what. Even the most reasonable thing that you're going to be brought forward with, you're going to bring forward the most logical, astute argument with no vitriol or any of that, right? You're just explaining a true critique, right?
Yeah.
You're still going to be called names.
Present your argument.
Yep.
Right.
But do it in such a way where you don't come across as what they like to portray a lot of fans now, as is both sexist, misogynist, this, that, and the other.
Right.
So don't be afraid. They're going to call you that and revel in that. Because if that's all they're doing, it means they have no argument. They cannot form a good argument, so they got to resort to those name callings and calling you incels and stuff like that. It's funny when they start calling a person who is in their 50s, married, and has kids and grandkids on the way an incel. Kind of, okay, whatever, Obviously, that person isn't an incel. And a lot of the people who play these games are not incels.
No.
So, we do know some that are kind of that way. Fine, so be it. We're not saying they're not, but we're tired of people messing around with stuff. It's not a big thing, then why do it? You're telling us it's not a big thing, but then you get upset that we call it out. Well, then obviously it must be a big thing.
Then it's a big thing. I mean, during my stream, at no point do you hear me go, "Oh my God, look at her ass! Oh my God, look at she's running!" I just,
well, that's me. I'm the one that does that.
I wasn't doing that. Yes,
I was looking at
the. I'm not gonna lie and say I wasn't looking at the visuals. Of course, I was looking at the visuals because everything that happens on screen, you got to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah,
but as I said, I was pleasantly surprised that the controls were better in the full version than they were in the demo. And controls in the game matter to me more than graphics anymore.
Yeah. And some of the games that are old, have great controls, great story, and still great graphics.
Mhm.
Mad Max.
Yeah, it has
But-
solid graphics. I agree. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know I joke about it when I saw babies and such like that. I mean, that's a joke, people out there, when I do all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's honest. When I'm playing a game, I like playing women characters. One, because I do believe in that we've always had strong female characters, so I'm given a choice. And besides, if I'm going to be looking at a butt through a whole game, I don't want to see a man's butt. I want to see a woman's butt, okay? It's just me. I'm a guy. It's not because I'm an incel or whatever. It's just I like looking at beautiful women, beautiful representation of women, strong, powerful women, in which a lot of these games, let's face it, Lara Croft is.
Yes, she is.
This character in Stellar Blade obviously is. I mean, they can't be a freaking Violet. And look,
Not when you're going against an occupying alien force.
Right. So, here we are, guys that hate women, right? We hate women, but yet we flock to these games, and it's more than just the look. We enjoy the look, yes. But like we said, if we're playing a game, it's a female protagonist, we have no issues with it because there's no preaching, there's no nothing. It's like we're playing a game, and we appreciate it. And we always have. That's why Lara Croft is still popular. I mean, she started out in the 90s, for crying out loud.
Yes.
Remember when we didn't have female protagonists and we didn't like women?
Right. She's the female version of more of like a Indiana Jones.
Well,
She's just cool, but she's different.
I can't
still.
think of the character's name off the top of my head, but she was in Perfect Dark.
Mhm.
Oh,
Come on, Mike.
can't think of her name. Dang it. Let me look it up.
I can't help you on that one.
Well, you also had the woman from No One Lives Forever, and you got this like 70s theme. She's a badass too.
Mhm.
You of course got Alex.
So somebody in the chat, help me out. Who's the protagonist in Perfect Dark? I can see the character. I just can't.
I can't.
We have one of the smartest chats out there.
Wait. Was it Joanna Dark?
Jonah, it's Joanna Dark. Yep.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yep.
And the big thing is, again, we like to joke around about these characters, right?
Yes.
Look at that giant vampire that everyone was going crazy over, and of course,
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
But the thing is we're having fun with it.
Right.
The statements that are being made weren't, serious. It wasn't insult talk. In many ways, it's poking satirically at the fact that you have this 11-foot tall vampire woman and the impossibilities of everything involved in it. And then they start taking our jokes as serious because that's what they do. They take our
Kate
jokes.
Archer. Yeah, she's a badass.
No one lives forever.
Yeah. And then they want to throw these jokes, and look at what the stuff that we had for jokes or fan fiction they're putting into like Star Wars, Star Trek, and all that. It's like, no, these were jokes. These were fun. Quit making. These were never meant to be serious. They don't know humor. They don't understand humor at all.
When you play,
and another game series that was popular for a time was Blood Rain, and that was a female
Blood Rain. Yeah, it was an
Yes.
attractive female redhead, if I remember. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what you did like, Cash.
That's right. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, we had that's why it's always funny to me, even with the social justice warriors or whatever they want to call themselves, and then they change into the woke brigade or whatever. But it's just like, it's so funny to me. Like their argument will always be like Gauntlet, like, oh, did you see the women in there? They're all bikinis. It's like they're fighting in bikinis or whatever. They're like, they're all supposed to be barbarians. What are we talking about?
What about
here?
Golden Axe? What about Golden Axe? Come on.
Oh yeah, Golden Axe.
It's just that's the argument they always want to talk about. And so it's like, well, what about things like Xena and stuff? Like, look at her awesome. Her armor looks cool. She's obviously a caring person. Like, there's just so many. We can go on and on about this, but even Alex, I always bring up the argument about Alex. What about her? The Half-Life 2 is not as important without Alex and her father. But especially Alex. Alex is a big help to Gordon, and she is very capable of surviving and she's got her own game, of course, now that came out a few years ago. I mean, look at characters like Clementine, very capable in The Walking Dead. Yep. I mean, they can make these female characters badass, but they keep just like making them new stereotypes. It's so funny to me. Yeah.
Even Kate and Scars Above, she's a very strong character. She's able to figure things out.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want the "I am woman, hear me" roar. We want, I can do this job because I know what I'm doing. Nothing wrong with a confident female protagonist, but when you start getting the anything you can do, I can do better attitude, that gets boring and tired, and it starts putting down on everything. It's like, okay, boring. It's like Rey the Wonder Jedi,
I mean, how many Terra from Final Fantasy VI, or I can't remember what it is and what it's supposed to be in Japan. Is it 3 or something? I can't remember, but she's a very capable character. She's got these powers and stuff. They've written
it was 6 in Japan, but when it was released on the Super Nintendo, it was Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's just we've had these female characters. Even Western developers. You talk about go look at Splinter Cell. Well, I guess that's considered a Western developer. I'll have to look into that, but they can do this stuff. They just what happens is even the character for Spoken, she could have been an absolute badass, but they make her a new kind of stereotype, and it's just like, no, guys, this is the wrong way for a female character, for any character. Yeah.
And remember, these people that call us incels and stuff like that, these are the same people that go out there and go nuts over bear sex and bear geek. How wonderful all this.
Exactly.
This is great. Talk about creepy.
Right. And I want to make this clear. Like, I know everybody just didn't buy it for the bear stuff, but don't tell me there aren't some people who did, that they want to see that. Yeah.
Well, we saw that reaction video of them when they showed it to that crowd, and all the blue-haired land whales, literally male and female, getting up, literally giving a standing ovation, going nuts over. It's like, oh, really? Okay, cancel the Skippy delivery to their house. Save the dog. That's all I gotta say.
Yep, I know. Right.
I've never seen a dog want to go voluntarily to the pet hospital to be euthanized because of these people grabbing the Skippy jar.
Yep. Right.
No, but really, I mean, again, you say this about us, and then you take a look at what they're. This is perfectly fine. It's like the meme where the dog is sitting there and the world's around them on fire. It's perfectly fine.
Right. Well,
they're hypocrites.
It's the same thing that they've done to Mary Jane and Spider-Man 2, and people, it doesn't matter. It's like, well, the reason a number of people feel it matters is because Mary Jane is supposed to be a very attractive woman, and when you change your jaw like that, what are you doing, man?
Well, when you start changing the characters to meet the quote-unquote dev, own personality. I want to make them like me. I'm in a wheelchair, and I'm non-binary, and whatever it is that one dingbat was going to put herself in as a female Spider-Man in a wheelchair with with pronouns and all that. It's like, no, you that's not it. You just don't know how to do this, folks.
All right. Well, I was born with cerebral palsy. That doesn't necessarily mean I want to see a character with cerebral palsy in a game.
Well, they don't understand. I mean, go back to Transformers with is it? No, Chip wasn't the one in the. Was it Chip? Chip was the one that was in the wheelchair. Okay, I did right. Okay, he was so much more than just his disability. This is, but it's like what Anonymous has said. It's like I know they say they're talentless, but I think it's just more. They just don't give a shit. They don't care about these things, and they should. They should. People would be, if we saw another character like Chip, hell yeah, man. So many people would be like, this is awesome. I'm sure of it. They would be very happy to see that.
Right. Exactly. He was a smart lad.
Right.
and that's just it. It shows that a true reality that we all have our talents and gifts in a certain area.
Yes.
I can't walk. I'm in a wheelchair, but I can do this. I know my limitations. I can't necessarily go out in the field and be this Rambo like hero. But the thing is support in this area is just as important, if not more important. If I can't get this information to the people or figure this out, people are going to die.
It's so weird to me. It's like, yeah, I'm in a wheelchair. It's like, I don't care. Like, where is the character saying, I don't care what you think? This is who I am. And if you don't like it, buzzer off. Like, they can't do that with somebody who's disabled. Sometimes they can. But usually with the writing, they're just, they seem to be afraid or scared to say that. No. Let's see more of that. Yeah. It's weird.
Oh,
people.
you don't know what you want, Mike. Yeah, I do.
Right.
I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
Mike, I'm your ally, Mike. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm here.
And that's my response to that.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
You did it to yourself.
Honestly, you're absolutely right, though, Mike. That is one of the most annoying, obnoxious things to ever hear from somebody. I'm your ally. I'm a queer ally. I'm this ally. I'm an ally for this. No. When you get half a chance, you're just using these people. When you get half a chance, you're going to toss them to the next flavor of the month.
It's just they forget about everything with these female characters. Even Life is Strange. Like, that game gets very dark. And the first one does, and it's like, okay, the main character, her friend, she's a lesbian, she's confused, and they explain to you why she's confused. But there's so many different aspects of the character. You're like, I don't care. That's the whole thing. We don't care if these characters are trans or gay or whatever they are, but can you make them so much more interesting than that?
Right.
That
Unfortunately, they can't. They're incapable of making these characters
won't do it.
Interesting beyond the label they want to put on them.
Yep.
Well, I mean, as it goes with me, I'm going to surprise everybody. Yeah, I had a problem with the trans character in Fallout. Not that the character was in there,
right?
But it's like, what the hell is this person doing in the Brotherhood of Steel?
Brotherhood.
They would,
right.
they would not accept. In fact, more likely, they probably would have crushed her head. Right?
Yes.
But if you have this character in a vault, like Vault 4,
right?
Or someplace like that. Now that's believable. Okay, I can see it now. Okay, I will give a pass. But again, you're throwing something in there and then not even having it in a believable situation.
Yep.
So I suppose people would say, "Oh, he's going to unload the fact they had a trans character in there." No, I'm unloading the fact that you did it wrong.
Right.
Put them in the wrong place. It doesn't make sense.
It's the same with. Yeah, go ahead.
And they didn't focus on it. They didn't focus on it. Thankfully they didn't focus on it. But still, the fact that it's that way, no, it wouldn't work.
Right. It just doesn't work. And so it's just, they just keep doing this stuff. It's just, I remember when somebody on another stream before, this was a while back with The Last of Us, it's like, it's not the fact that you have two gay people. I had forgotten Bill's character was gay in The Last of Us because it had been so long, but it's the fact that you guys missed the opportunity for Ellie to meet Bill like she does in the game. You missed that opportunity. You missed that.
I'm gay, but I'm Flintstone gay. Having a gay old time. No.
That's right.
Yeah. Not hate that Asbury gay. I'm Flintstone gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember that word came from.
So getting into this article from Spencer Bakuli, it was posted on Friday, which was also the release date of Stellar Blade for those who might be not be in the know, but it says in a development that suggests
we knew.
In a development that suggests there truly are no heroes left in man, following the discovery that a patch censored the game's holiday rabbit outfit, Stellar Blade director Hung Tai Kim, and I apologize for butchering that, has claimed that he always intended for the updated, less risky version of the costume to be its final design. Well, why not include both?
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, there's nothing risque about this.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
It's pronounced he young, I guess. I just
Okay.
looked it up. Mhm.
Well, him saying that statement, you almost want to be tempted to say, okay, blink once, blink 2 times in a row, you're fast. If you're being coerced into saying this,
Mhm.
give us you want to sit back and say that because that's kind of the case. Here's a statement, you're going to make it.
You know, Sony is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
As seen in both the game's demo and its unpatched on disc release, the original version of the Honey Rabbit outfit provided Stellar Blade protagonist Eve with a hooded leotard featuring a bunny tail pom pom on its back and a plunging cleavage heavy neckline on its front. And again, I'm going to say it one more time. What's so oh my god about this? Really?
Yeah. That
Really?
is EAM
It-
game.
It is. It's just so ridiculous. It's so tame. It's because of the cleavage, I guess. Oh no!
Oh no!
How terrible!
Oh,
Oh,
my.
you still got some cleavage here.
Yeah.
You do. Yep, you
Mhm.
do. I know.
I'm surprised they didn't have her sit in for breast reduction surgery.
Right.
However, following the release of the game's day one patch, the same one that censored the game's hard graffiti graphic due to concerns that one particular instance of the image could be taken in bad faith as a reference to the N-word racial slur. Okay. Players soon found
Alrighty.
that rather appearing as it did originally, the honey rabbit now covers up Eve's chest with a lacy undershirt.
Mhm.
It extends out toward the bottom in order to cover up the amount of skin shown around her thighs. Oh gosh. Oh. If we were doing a Rumble exclusive edition of Pop Talk, I would have a few things to say.
Some untoward words, strong ones,
Yeah.
things that would
Yes.
flag this channel in our heartbeat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, but I'm going to be a good boy. I'm not going to overreact.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, go ahead, Baron.
I was going to step back and say, these are the people that when Mapplethorpe back in the 80s, when the big thing was coming through with Mapplethorpe and his showing off his pictures, which, of course, great photograph taker, but they also were including basically pornographic pictures, a series of them coming through there that people didn't want to have access for kids to see. And the same crowd, basically the proto crowd to what we have today, are all in arms. How dare you want to put this behind a wall? You're censoring. It's like, no, it's not censoring. You can still see it, but it's behind, it's like when you go to the video store and you have those beaded things covering the door. You can walk through and they clack, 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 and there's all your adult movies. That's what they wanted to do. And it's like, no, how dare you? It's like, a man, Mapplethorpe with a picture of a bullwhip up a certain orifice, stuff like that. Great stuff for kids to see, right? These are the same people who are complaining about, who sit back and celebrate this, then complain about tame outfit like that.
Yeah.
You can tell these people have never been to a beach or a swimming pool. They're probably afraid of getting harpooned.
You can come to my area during the summer and see all sorts of different outfits.
Oh yeah, even here, even in Minnesota, there, don't you know?
It says,
it's blinding. It's blinding because of the paleness, but yeah, you can, it's better than the beginning of the year. But
oh my god, can't see what the pale person over there. can't see. They're blinding me. Where are your sunglasses? In the car.
Yeah, I can't see the car. I'm blind.
Unsurprisingly, upon its discovery, this bit of stealth censorship prompted outrage from excited players, many of them feeling particularly betrayed given developer Shift Up's previous promise that the game would release uncensored. Well, that was their fault for saying it's going to be uncensored when they
That's
knew
right.
they would still have to answer to Sony, who was saying, "You're better censor this or we're not releasing your game."
Right. And why?
To the
Why Sony?
Mhm. Yeah. To this end, one fan sought to take the issue directly to Kim himself.
Mhm.
This is the tweet right here. And
Honestly,
says-
look at the tweet and see if there might be a coded message in there saying "Help me."
Baron. Per translated video shared to the Celebrate subreddit during an April 26th launch event for the highly anticipated action title, Kim was asked by an attendee if there had been any thinking of rolling back to the version before the censorship. In turn, the director affirmed, understandably, we also recognize this issue. However, the final costume that we wanted to show you is indeed the costume in version 1.002. I want to clarify that. Okay, start over, Mike. I want to clarify that is our final product, he added. However, I know this answer is not enough to convince our users. There is an internal discussion ongoing regarding this, so I think we'll have a chance to answer it soon. As noted above, while the patch version of the game censors the Honey Rabbit outfit, players can still access the original costume by playing the physical release and decline to update it.
Which is weird, but yeah, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
it's a kind of a band-aid.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for players who had hoped the Korean action title would stand tall as a pillar of anti-censorship amidst an ever-growing Puritan. Yeah, come on, Mike. Guys, I'm just having a tough time today, aren't I, guys?
You're doing fine.
You're okay. You're okay. Honestly, you're okay.
Puritanical. There we go. Puritanical. Come
puritanical,
on.
Hey, Cash, we're going to have to help him after the show, I think so.
Yeah, I might need a software update myself.
Yeah.
Let me
Are you
check
working
those.
on-
Let me
Yeah.
check those bugs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, do they have any updates for a late '70s model? Probably not.
It's all right, man.
Well,
We're here to help him
yeah.
with pronouncing words and
yeah,
stuff.
I mean,
We're good, dude. Yeah.
You're the AI here, Cash. You're able to get in and get the reprogram.
Well, then,
stuff.
what are you? Are you the robot then? If I'm the AI,
I
what
don't know.
are you
the evil genius.
Calculon? That's you can be
I'm
Calculon.
Calculon.
You can be Calculon
Calculon. Yeah.
from Futurama.
I'm more Bender. Come on. I talk more like Bender.
yeah. Okay, well, that's
So
true.
bite my shiny metal ass,
Metal
Cash.
ass. That's right.
My response to that, Baird,
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Did you ever finish that last season of Futurama?
No, I need to. I don't know
Okay.
what happened. I got to. We didn't have Hulu for a little bit, and then now that we got it back, we just haven't gotten to it. I've been watching a lot of other stuff, but yeah.
Okay, we'll get to it, Baron. I can set it up.
Yeah,
It's
we
not
need
a
to.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Mhm.
Yeah, we should sit down and watch it and such. So.
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna say that a game is gonna be uncensored,
That's all I'm saying.
you better hold to that. You better hold to
Right.
that.
Yep.
Well, yeah, we gamers. I can't really call myself a gamer. I play with you guys, but I'm not as serious as like you guys are, or Fat Steven, or any of that. But you get gun shy. You get gun shy because not going to be censored. Then you have it censored, and it's like, well, what else are they going to do? What else are they going to pander to with an update coming up? And I was joking about the breast reduction, but will that be one of the updates? Because Gorlock the Destroyer got all upset, and
that's why
it does say here in the article this is not the only confirmed instance of censorship in Stellar Blade. In addition to the aforementioned censorship of the game's hard graffiti, players have also reported that the Day 1 patch has drastically reduced the amount of blood and gore effects featured throughout Eve's adventure. Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, guys? When we had a game like Mortal Kombat in the 90s,
We pulled out the head, man. There's a skeleton. Yeah.
Yeah, pull out the heart. I remember that game had a lot of heat back in the day. That had a lot
especially
of heat.
the Nintendo version was censored, the blood, and then the Sega
no,
Genesis
the
version was
Nintendo
not.
version, it was Mortal Kombat, the Vulcan edition.
Then
Everybody had three
Nintendo
blood.
said, basically, Nintendo said with Mortal Kombat 2, okay, we screwed up. We fucked up. Okay, here's the blood.
Yeah.
Here's
Well, hey, at least they weren't doing the white blood like
No.
China does. It's like,
Oh gosh.
I know. It's instead of looking like a murder scene, it looked like a bukkake scene. Look it up, folks. I'm not tell you what that is.
You don't need to tell them what it is, Baron. That's what the internet's for. Find it out for yourself.
That's what I said. There's Google. Google it. But don't blame me.
I blame you all the time.
Here's the funny thing about this is we already know from the past that Sony, look, this is really interesting because Nintendo has censored stuff. They've censored some outfits in the Western version of Fire Emblem games. Then they were like, oh, we're not really for this censorship anymore. So they become less about wanting to censor things. But Sony and Microsoft are like, we're going to censor that. We're going to do this. And they anime games, especially Sony, when they come to the West, they can't stop themselves on the PlayStation from censoring outfits and this and that. Even Grand Blue Fantasy, even though it's a fun game and people really like the patch, that game was censored with a few outfits too. And people are like,
why?
Exactly.
You see what this game is rated?
Exactly.
So you would expect to see gore in this game.
Absolutely. A lot of gore. Yes.
I'm gonna buy that for my preteen to play. How's
Dude,
that?
in Warhammer, we cut off rats' heads and we can kick them down the street, basically. I mean,
well, yeah.
Even in Helldivers, our body literally got mashed up into a few pieces.
And and Dark Tide too. I mean,
yes.
I mean, we comment about the glorious blood in there because we know it's fake stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, this is what we expect for these games because of the universes that they're in.
Yes, it's dark and gritty.
We don't. You know what we don't want to see from our characters in an M-rated game that's supposed to have blood and gore? We don't want to see where a character gets sliced and diced where glitter and rainbows come out of the enemy. We don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, that's for the My Little Pony Slaughterfest game that's coming out.
All right.
That'll keep the bronies happy. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah.
Glitterfest.
But you want to know something? Fans need to push back and say no. Restore it.
Yeah.
And if you ever went to a convention, just like I see what Priz said, it's true. The Tulo scene was fine. The fact is that the bear stuff is fine with them. But this is wrong, Sony. You're so you got to stop your hypocrisy.
Hypocrites.
If you're going
They're
to
hypocrites.
They always are. It's like, stop. You're fine with the bear stuff. Oh, well, that's just the meme. That's whatever. It's still in the game, and I don't care what anybody says. It shouldn't be in there, but whatever. It doesn't. I understand there's a lot of things going on in the game. That's why it's overwhelmingly positive still on Steam and people like it. But Sony's fine with that. Sony's fine with the Last of Us 2 scene. But this is the point where they're like, no, we can't have this.
No.
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 Yeah. And you know what? You're going to be called.
Like
you're
I
going to be.
said, I'm still enjoying playing the game, and I'm going to judge it based on my gameplay experience. But really, if you're gonna have this, it's a one-piece leotard, one-piece bikini. Well, not bikini, but bathing suit, if you want to call it a bathing suit.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone. Come on.
Yeah.
Have we become such prudes that we can't even handle a little cleavage, a little skin? I mean, what do you do? What do you do when you see yourself in the mirror when you're getting ready to take a shower or after the shower?
Right.
I cringe.
What are you going to go on Twitter and say, well, I need to be censored because I can't handle myself when I see myself in the bathroom?
Unfortunately, because of narcissism that still is running rampant throughout the world, I can imagine somebody actually typing that. I need to censor myself. I can't believe it. I blame everybody else but myself for the way I look. Yeah.
I blur out the mirror when I go to go take a shower. So I mean, I can't stand looking at myself. Like, but yeah, but really, you're going to be called a bully. So go ahead, do it anyways. You're not being a bully, but they're going to call you a bully for calling this stuff out. So it's like, okay, fine. You know, let's twist the meaning of the word. You're just releasing. You're not satisfied with the product. That's not being a bully. That's basically product review, customer review back, and don't let these assholes, these twat waffles, get away with it. And if they do call you a bully and the other names, just smile. You won. Consider that like a little campaign medal that you get. You know, you succeeded with this campaign. You drove them. You know, you drove them to go re. So, hey, don't be afraid. No matter what's going to happen, they're still going to call you nasty names, no matter what.
Yeah,
even if you don't do anything.
You want to know something, Bird? I could give two craps if someone comes into the chat and doesn't like the fact I'm playing the game.
Right, exactly. And that's the attitude you have to, just like with Harry Potter, it's the same kind of thing. It's just a different situation, but it's still, people want to attack other people because they're playing something that, whatever reason, because it's tied to something like J.K. Rowling or something. It's stupid.
Right.
It's stupid.
Well, yeah, I mean, their existence is to destroy.
Yes, I believe
I
that.
mean, when they start saying about the American Taliban, well, in a sense, yeah, because you just see about how they went out, they destroyed priceless artifacts, those
horrible.
giant Buddhas, right? Destroying them because of offensiveness to them. Well, it's the same thing doing this. You're being an American Taliban in that sense. You guys are unstable. You really are. You need to have true psychological help, real psychological, not going to one of these therapists that's a cheerleader and an ally.
Yeah.
You need someone to sit back and go, you know, you're already messed up. Here, let's fix that. Bellevue, room for one, please.
Yep.
Very true. And Cash is going to go ahead and read the next story that we have lined up.
Oh boy, Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. By the way, this guy's a big winner. Yeah. Anyways, Harvey Weinstein.
At least you didn't say a big wiener.
All right. So this is a story from Variety. So with these kind of stories, they're oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, 2 people did this story. You know what? You don't get.
We've mocked them before. We mocked them before for having 2 people write one story.
One person can write the article. You don't need 2 people. What is
Lois and Clark teamed up on stories before. Come on, Cat. Come on, man. Lois and Clark, they worked together at the Daily Planet. Sharing by mine. Come on, man.
Okay, sure. Oh man, okay. Should we acknowledge these people? Whatever.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
acknowledge the honey.
I always do.
I
I
guess
always
so.
do.
These names are a little hard to pronounce. I've never heard
Yeah,
these.
well,
So
that's
we'll
part
figure
of
it
the
out.
problem right there. But calling the names.
What?
Yeah.
Elise Schaefer and
Schaefer
Gene
and
Mattis?
Gene Mattis and Elsie. I think it's pronounced Elsie Schaefer. Yeah, okay. I
Yeah,
guess not that hard.
that's what Mike said.
Once I know, but once again, it's just two people. Where is this? We're the guy on Niche Gamer. One person. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, but no, we're mocking you for the fact that all these names are hard to say.
I know.
Ellie Schaefer.
I know. Ellie Schaefer. It's not hard to say. I was wrong. I was wrong.
That's
Gene
right.
Mattis.
You're wrong. That's
I'm
right,
wrong.
Ash. You're wrong.
But anyways, the point still stands.
Story reading better. Great again. Make it great again.
That's right. Make it great again. Yes, but two people. Dang it, variety. But anyways, Harvey Weinstein's 2020 rape conviction overturned by New York appeals courts. Okay. Harvey Weinstein 2020 rape conviction has been overturned by the New York court's appeal. On Thursday, the court found in a 4-3 ruling that the judge in Weinstein's trial, a landmark movement in the Me Too movement that the 2017 allegations against him started, had shown prejudice by allowing women to testify about allegations that were not part of the case. The court has now ordered a new trial. Look, okay, once again, there's a certain person, and I'm not going to bring it up, that he's the demon child of everything, but Harvey Weinstein, it has to be overturned. He's a good man. I'm sure. I'm waiting for some people to come out. He was wrongfully accused, right?
According to Meryl Streep, he's a good man.
Hillary Clinton. Ask a lot of these people who are either in Hollywood or politics. One person even called him a god, if I remember. Was it Jennifer Lawrence? I can't remember. Correctly, but I thought it was. Weinstein, the Oscar-winning producer of Shakespeare in Love and Good Will Hunting, which are both really terrific films, but is serving a 23-year sentence at Mohawk Correctional Facility, a medium security prison in Rome, New York. Of course, it's, because he potentially raped somebody, because it says it in the article. YouTube, go fuck yourself. So they say this, and then he gets so he gets a TV and reading material and all kinds of cool stuff, I guess, right? Because he's in. He will remain in prison, as he was also convicted of rape in Los Angeles in 2022 and sentenced to an additional 16 years in prison. However, Weinstein was acquitted in Los Angeles trial on charges involving a woman who testified in his New York case. Weinstein spokesperson Judah I'm not saying that right now. I'm sounding like Mike.
Judah Engelmeyer.
Yeah, Engelmeyer. Thank you, Judah.
I love when you correct him. I love when you correct him.
Well, we correct him, Baron.
So I know. That's fair. Right. I know.
That's right. Engelmeyer. Yes, Engelmeyer. Yeah. Said in the statement, we're cautiously excited. He still has a long road ahead of him because of the Los Angeles case. We are studying the ramifications of the appeal right now. Weinstein's lawyer will be holding a press conference today at 1:30 p.m. Eastern in Manhattan to discuss the decisions.
At least at the time that this article was posted.
Right. We reaffirm that no person accused of illegality, may be judged on proof of uncharged crimes that serve only to establish the accused propensity for criminal behavior, wrote Judge Jenna Rivera in the court's majority. Jenny. Yes, Jenny Rivera in the court's majority opinion. It is an abuse of judicial discretion to permit untested allegations of nothing more than bad behavior that destroys a defendant's character, but sheds no light on their credibility as related to criminal charges lodged against them. Look, you gotta love lawyer talk all the time. Hey, I use all these big words. It's very good.
Of course.
Of course. But that doesn't mean all lawyers are bad. But I do agree with Barron. There's probably too many of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the New York case, Weinstein was convicted of sexually assaulted Miriam Haley, a former production assistant on Project Runway, at his apartment in 2006. He was also convicted of raping. I said raping, you two, because it says in the article, so go fuck yourself again. Jessica Mann at a hotel in 2013. Weinstein's attorney, led by Arthur Alada, I think it's pronounced, appealed the conviction on numerous grounds. A lower appellate court denied the appeal in 2022, but the state's highest court agreed to hear the case. Today's decision is a major step back in holding those accountable for acts of sexual violence, said Douglas Wigdur, an attorney who represented two pre-trial witnesses in New York. Courts routinely emit evidence of other uncharged acts where they assist jurors in understanding issues concerning the intent, modus operandi, or scheme of the defendant. The jury was instructed on the relevance of this testimony and overturned the verdict is tragic in that it will require victims to endure yet another trial. Well, at least some people say this. At least some people believe that, this is a ridiculous nonsense. Again, here we go with the circus, just like the Alec Baldwin thing, which hopefully he will be convicted. Exactly. Judge Madeline Singas, wrote in the court's dissenting opinion, with today's decision, this court continues to thwart the steady gains survivors of sexual violence have fought for in our criminal justice system. Forgotten are the women who bear the psychological trauma of sexual violence and scars of testifying again and again. I agree with that. The erosion of present born from a refusal to accept that crimes of sexual violence are far more nuanced than complex than other crimes comes at the expense and safety of women. See, what they did, they needed two people to do this because, this doesn't sound good, but I have a journalism degree and my brother has a journalism degree. So I can tell you right now, he would write the article by himself. He wouldn't need a second person, but whatever. I'm still annoyed by that.
But you do.
That's right. I need. Right. Sure. No, I don't. Thank you, Barron, for the smart.
You're welcome.
I always appreciate it. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office said, "We will do everything in our power to retry this case and remain steadfast in our commitment to the survivors of sexual assault." At oral argument February, Adela maintained that Justice James Burke had stacked the deck against Weinstein by allowing three women, Dawn Dunning, Tarloff Wolf, and Lauren Young.
I think it's pronounced Tyrell.
Tyrell, yeah, I think you're right, to testify against him. Each of the women told the jury that Weinstein had sexually assaulted them after they showed up for what they thought would be a business meeting. Oh, man. Look, have people forgotten that the casting couch has
it's always existed in Hollywood.
Many years. And there's some people who had sex just to get that job. Yeah.
They were using it for their advantage. I mean, it happens, really, honestly. They know it.
Exactly. The so-called Molinics, I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. I guess maybe I am. Witnesses were called to show that Weinstein's assault had a common pattern and that he was not confused about whether or not the victims consented. Of course not. Weinstein's defense argued that the effect of the testimony, however, was to attack his character without shredding any light on the allegations for which he was actually charged. This is a major prejudice, Adela argued in February. It's saying he's a bad guy. He's a
Idalia.
bad guy. He's a bad guy. What was that?
Idalia.
Adalia. Okay. The defense also challenged the judge ruling allowing the prosecutors to attack Weinstein's credibility if he had taken the stand. Before the trial, Burke said he would allow prosecutors to raise as many as 28 separate incidents of alleged misconduct, including bullying, oh boy, and threats of violence. Weinstein did not testify, and the defense argued that the judge's ruling effectively foreclosed his ability to effectively defend himself. Okay. The issue of prior bad acts testimony was also raised in Bill Cosby's successful appeal of his sexual assault conviction in Pennsylvania. In that case, 5 women were allowed to testify to buttress the one allegation that was charged. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned that conviction on different grounds, finding that prosecutors had reigned on a promise to not prosecute Cosby.
Reneged.
Reneged. So yeah, that was a long article that 2 people had to.
Is it my turn now to start pissing people off?
Go ahead, dude.
Okay.
Go ahead. Reneged. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
one, he's not out of the water yet, as he sat back
No.
and said. It still opens up doors. 2,
Yeah,
I
he
agree.
still has that
When-
case in LA that
Mhm.
needs to go to trial. So
Right.
Yeah.
But to bring in, I agree. To bring in hearsay, bringing hearsay like that is dangerous. Again, it's accusations. It's not proof. But you're going to use that as an example to put a person in jail, even though there's no proof that he committed what he's being accused of on trial. That's
Mhm.
never been taken care of. That
Mhm.
that hearsay, anyone who watches Perry Mason would know is
It's
not
insane.
admissible in the court.
Mhm.
You have to do it on the merit. Is it rough on the women going through that? Yeah, I sympathize wholeheartedly.
Mhm.
But it's no different than having a family sitting through how many court cases of someone that they
Right.
knew
Yes.
that had been murdered,
Mhm.
or even
You got
someone
it.
who had grievous harm done to him by someone in brutality, having to sit through court. Look at the Goldman family, and they went through the first trial, then they had their other trial,
Yeah.
which I kind of,
Mhm.
I kind of wonder when you have someone who is found not innocent but not guilty, and then going to do a wrongful death on it. It kind of goes into double indemnity, in my opinion. But but the thing is you have to do the case on the actual merit, the proof, proof of the pudding. Actual witnesses that did see it. I saw him do this, or I saw the aftermath and how this person was afterwards. Justice is not pretty. Justice is not clean.
No.
Justice hurts.
Yes.
You have to relive things. And I hope no one has to go through that. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anybody to go through it. I don't want me and my family to go through this. On a personal level, we had our own issues with certain things, and it still is causing harm and hurt.
Sure.
But as that goes, no matter what, people have to live with it. What happens to it? It's hard. It's painful. But in this case, you just can't bring somebody in and say, well, okay, did you file any charge? No. Is there any proof?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it.
No,
You
but
can't go
I
on that.
heard somebody who said this. And
Right.
how many times have you watched a TV show where the judge will say that's hearsay? Or if you even go into an actual courtroom, if they allow you to go in, and you can actually hear a judge say that's hearsay.
Right. Well,
This is
It's just like they talk about in this article about the Me Too movement. Well, here's the problem with that. There were some good things that happened, like the whole situation with the gymnasts, because that was
Mhm.
completely wrong what was going on with
Right.
that trainer basically at I won't say basically, was going wrong with that trainer at Michigan
Yeah.
State. That was wrong. And so that was good that that man got exposed. I can't think of his name now. Shit.
Yeah.
But the Me Too movement also, people were like, "Oh, I can use this as a weapon," and that's
Mhm.
when it becomes a big problem. I can use this
Well,
against men to take their jobs, and it's like, "Oh, that doesn't happen." Yes, it can. Yes, it
yeah,
can.
it has, and
Believe
it
it or not.
has.
Yes, it has.
We're doxing you. We're going to
Yep.
dox you until you work, and
Yep.
with the hearsay and all that. It's
And
destroyed, and women too. It's not
I
just
also
men,
right,
women
exactly.
too.
I want to also know during those interviews with those women if those employees, those bosses said that, "Oh, are you fine with these jokes? Are you fine with that workplace?" And if they said they were, and then they changed their mind because they felt uncomfortable or they wanted another position, well, that's a problem in itself too. I would like to
Yeah.
know, because they make these jokes. Not that I'm saying you should go to a cubicle of women, "Hey, baby," blah blah. But
Mhm.
um, I don't think that's appropriate at a works thing. But if they
No,
were
no.
fine with those jokes before, around the water cooler or whatever, and then they decided not to be, it's like, then maybe you shouldn't have been working here in the first place. I don't care
Well,
who.
not
Yeah,
necessarily even hearing it, partaking in it too.
right.
I
Partaking.
tell you,
Exactly.
I've heard
Partaking it.
some.
They got drunk
I,
and things happen. People
mhm,
had sex on the copier or whatever. I don't know if that still goes on, but maybe it probably
I
does.
don't know.
I don't know.
But I mean, I've heard women in the workplace with their colorful analogies, you might say,
No.
that would send the man to HR now, uh,
Yep.
fighting
Hmm.
for his job. Now, I'm not saying Harvey's innocent, right?
No,
I am
I'm not
not
saying
passing
that
that.
either. No way.
Right, I'm not saying it,
Yeah.
but I am saying that they do have a point on this, and you should have
Yes.
had enough other evidence
Yep.
to nail his
He did
ass.
this. He raped
Yeah.
me. He sexually assaulted me. Okay, that's, oh,
Mhm.
well, you believe all women or believe all this. It's like,
Right,
okay, but what about the ones who are lying? Because there are
right.
people out there who will lie for money,
Uh, uh,
for fame, for
yeah.
power, whatever. Yeah.
I don't ascribe to that. I don't ascribe to believe all
Right.
women, just like I don't ascribe to believe all men or believe all children, because I'm sorry,
Yeah.
when you start doing that, then there is no chance to have justice.
No.
And justice sometimes involves spirit of the law as well as letter of the law. But in a court case, you kind of bound to that letter of the law, because you're going to put somebody away uh,
Hmm.
for a long time, if not forever. You're the same people that scream and cry about someone who's put into prison for a heinous
Hmm.
murder
Right.
and might be on death row, and then
Right.
your tune all of a sudden changes now.
You're the same people who want to change words to make people feel better. Oh, they just don't understand. They just have
Mhm.
been not treated well in society. No, they did this to kids.
Yeah,
I,
right.
I,
I, I I want this hearsay to lock this guy up forever. But
mm,
if it's a murderer who's on a heinous crime, no, we can't have that. How dare you? It's a mistrial. And
mhm.
no, it's got to be consistent. You got to
Yes,
have
it
consistency.
has to be.
That's
Yes.
one of the things that our founding fathers had for our legal system, because Great Britain, I'm sorry if there's people from Great Britain that are listening, but it's a fact that would abuse it again with hearsay and retroactiving laws. So you did something legal, now it's illegal, and we're going to take you for a crime for something you did while it was legal.
Mhm.
And we're at that phase right now too.
Yes.
They're trying to do retroactive law and going after people for retroactive law.
Yes, it's their politics, it's other opinions that they
Right.
have. That's scary stuff. That's communism. That's socialism garbage, whatever, Yeah.
Well, you're seeing
More
the justice
communist, but
system being used as a weapon
that's right.
than
Just
what
like
it's
the Me
supposed to
Too
be for.
movement was used as a weapon, just like a lot of these other organizations that claim they're helping their communities or they're
Yeah.
helping the cause.
Right.
Yes.
And meanwhile, they get richer because
Mhm.
of it follow the money trail.
Some of them
And
do.
people
They're
suffer.
scamming people.
Mm.
That's right.
Oh, well, take a look at it. I mean, all you have to do is take a look at Sharpton and Jesse.
Yes.
You have to look at those that were part of the BLM movement, where
Some of
they
them
were.
did. Yep.
Oh, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts
Buying
making you
mansions
wonder.
and so on. I mean, that happened. People can
Right,
look it
so
up. That all happened.
We can't. Yeah, it's a fact. People abuse this stuff. The one place it shouldn't be in is the courtroom. And
No.
yeah, as they sat back and said, it still opens up that they can still try him.
Right.
Right.
Which they should be.
But
able
now,
to. Yeah.
but now it's going to be. Well, the thing is, again, that was before the United States of America with the Salem witch trials. Again, that was one of the things that the founding fathers were wanting to protect against. You got to remember that was pre-American, and yeah, the weapons, the legal system has been attempted to be used as a weapon. It shouldn't be, and that's why we should fight for it.
Yes.
For that, and even if it means that we got to sit back and stand up for stinkers,
right?
Like Harvey.
Yes.
I want him to have a fair trial and get locked up. That is that's my opinion. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sitting back saying. I want to make sure it's completely ironclad. And when he goes to something other than medium prison, where he's now Bubba's new boyfriend in cell block B.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Right.
But I want to have this case lock, stock, and barrel. No hearsay, because then you start having this.
Right.
And you have Cosby. Yeah, you know what? As much as I love Cosby for being a comedian and all that, I am sure he is guilty of some stuff that they come forward with. Just hearsay. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to walk.
Yeah, they're going to walk because it's just hearsay. But you know, I think things have gotten worse. I know this has happened before, but the using political weapons. If you're a judge and you have a hatred towards somebody because of their politics, it's like maybe you shouldn't be a judge. I don't care what side of the aisle it is on. That's terrible, man. That right
conflict of interest.
Exactly. Yeah.
Judge Lancito had many conflicts of interest. He had to actually be forced to excuse himself for a little bit with the trial with OJ because of the conflict of interest.
I remember that.
But you watch through that, though, you can still see it's a conflict of interest. And one of the big things was he was becoming a star. You had the dancing needles. You had, you start getting that star treatment, which is why he keeps the freaking cameras out of the courtroom.
Right.
Unless it goes force court, then it gets interesting.
Right. Yeah.
No. Again, I am not siding with them, but I do agree that was shenanigans, and my belief is always doesn't matter who the person is. If they do something right, you got to give them the praise. If they do something wrong, you got to damn them for it.
That's right.
Whether you like the person or not. And I still stand to it. I want to see his ass handed to him, but I want to make sure it's solid so we don't have a story like this that you have to have two people right.
That's right.
Just like Mr. Journalism here, Cash Money explained to us. But the thing is you byline with your brother. You just disguise it because you just use the last name, and they don't realize this byline. I know how you work, Cash. I know.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm glad that you guys understand that two people don't have to write one article.
Well, I mean, man, I didn't go to journalism school, but with broadcast, we had to learn how to do, writing news stories and stuff like that, and cut to crap. Obviously, it's more abbreviated than doing a newspaper story and all that.
Right. And what did they? Yeah, go ahead.
And so we worked through it. And of course, back then, that's when USA Today came out. And even back then, as we sat back, we were calling it McPaper and being disparaging. The one thing I sat back and said that they're good for is for the quick headline to get something in there because of the abbreviation, but you still need to get a chunk. You don't use them as your only source for your news story, which nowadays they're doing. They're fact checking. Right. It was fact checked by USA Today. Oh, McPaper, imitation news.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's just some of the classes I had too, Baron, at college. The same stuff, people talking about getting into radio and even what you should say on the radio and when you
Right.
play the songs and like there's a timing and you did all that because of course you were in radio for a number of years. So Mhm.
Yeah, in
Did
one
you
fashion or
did you
another.
usually read the news though? I'm guessing sometimes, right?
No, I didn't necessarily
Oh, you
read
didn't.
news
Okay.
per se, but I was trained. I mean, we had national news. What was it?
Mhm.
Did we? I can't remember what was the news service that we used. Top and bottom of the hour. Uh, Mutual? Maybe it was Mutual News. I can't remember. I think it was Mutual News we had for the
Mhm.
top and the bottom that we had because the station I worked at was very small. But
Okay.
you still had to write copy sometimes or
Mhm.
talk about things. Sometimes you had to do the local interest stuff. But
Mm.
with the training, though, and of course with local stuff, you still had to be very careful because if
Right.
you got Marge Hanson's name wrong and what she was doing wrong, she'd let you know because the last thing she needed was a bunch of people coming to her place uh, because of some sort of sale that she's not having or whatnot.
Yes.
Even the local community stuff is just as important, sometimes more important than doing the national stuff because it hits closer to home. And the station I worked at, we weren't too far away from Stillwater Prison, the same prison that some of the James gang went to after the North Fuel raid. In fact, I believe it was Frank James that started the newspaper in the Stillwater Prison. It was always interesting. So, of course, needless to say, we really had to be careful. We didn't want to visit, we didn't want to have to stay at Stillwater for doing something wrong.
Right.
even though we did get some fan letters from them written in crayon.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
mean,
kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm
that's
not kidding.
funny.
It was on the board. I walked by this board and there's this letter written in crayon. I'm looking at it. Go, oh, snarkies! That came from Stillwater Prison.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I understand because they had to use crayons so they don't write or pencil. Use
Yeah,
it as a weapon, right?
yeah. That way, the person can write the story, then eat the crayon afterwards, like a good Marine would. Just kidding, Uncle Sam's misguided children. Just
Uh,
kidding. My family was Army, so there. Nah.
yeah.
But
And
yeah.
it's funny too because like even when you're reading and even on the radio you hear people mess up all the time. We're humans, we make mistakes. I think just the most
Just
important
listen
thing
to
is
our
that
everyday episode of Pop Talk. I'm making some sort of well,
I just think it's just important. I think it should be more important for variety, especially if you're being paid to get these
Mhm,
things right. Pronouncing these words, pronouncing these,
mhm,
making sure you've got the right paragraphs are set up properly. I mean, look at Bounty in the comics, even Cosmic Comic Books. Sometimes you read this stuff, it's like you guys need an editor for this, man.
mhm. Yeah, they're too fast trying to get this stuff out. And
I
that's
agree.
like
I agree.
they
speed
want to be the
kills.
first to get it out. That's
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
thing.
Yep, they do.
That's what it's
yeah,
about nowadays.
They
Be the
do.
first
right.
to get it out.
Hmm.
Yeah, and speed kills because you're not
It
necessarily getting
does.
the right stuff out,
That's right.
and not written properly and such
Exactly.
like that.
Yep. Yep.
So, here's another case. Back when you had the Republican Revolution back in '94, and the Republicans took both houses, and Newt Gingrich became the Speaker of the House. Connie Chung goes out and has an interview with Newt's mom, right?
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then she did the one thing that destroyed her career, other than being married to Maury Povich. Uh, she goes to the mother, between you and me, which instantaneously that means off the record, right? Between you and me, and the walls, nothing else, right? When you say that, that means off the record. What does Newt think of Hillary? And she goes, well, he thinks she's a bitch, and they put it out,
Yeah,
right?
they did.
Yep.
That is a violation of, again, the trust
Yeah.
that you're supposed to put into the press. And you had people out there trying to defend that. Well, when she said between you and me, that was no. That right there is the important word. That she would not have said anything like that.
Right. Well, the funny thing is, like, and that's why it's funny. It's like, who cares what the side of the aisle is on? It's like, if you listen to
Right.
Newt and some of these other people, like, they make sense. Like, oh, hey, that should be common sense. Everybody should listen to this. No, no, no. Because of the side of the party he's on, he deserves to be shunned by certain people. It's so stupid. So
Well,
stupid.
I'm not. My statement wasn't trying to make
Yeah.
this into
Okay. I know,
left,
no, I
right,
know.
or whatever.
I
I'm
got
talking
you.
about a journalistic integrity.
Right. I
And
agree. Well, look at what they did with the DeSantis with 60 Minutes a few years ago. They took
well,
his comments. Go ahead.
yeah, he took.
Mhm.
But let's go
Out of
back to
context.
Tom Brokaw. Tom Brokaw.
Uh-huh.
No, not Tom Brokaw.
Oh no.
Dan Blather. Dan Blather on CBS Morning News, where he helped fabricate a story to go after then President Bush, right?
Of course.
And got
Of
caught,
course.
destroying his career.
Mhm.
It destroyed his career at CBS, and people still go to him for opinion. It's like, no, his opinion means nothing now.
Right.
He's a fabricator. He's a liar.
Was that Dan Rather or this?
Yeah,
Dan
that was
Blather?
Dan Blather at
I like
Dan
that.
Blather
Yeah.
at CBS. CBS News.
Yeah,
as part
he
of that
did.
flip
He
phone story.
completely lied, and this has been going on. Oh, that's
Yeah.
why I bring it up. It's
Yeah.
always all on one side of the aisle. They smear these people. They call them these names, and then it's fine because we know they're like this. No, you don't. And then they find out they're liars, and then we're supposed to believe that news organization still has much integrity left.
Right.
Come on.
And now this goes back into, and let's not forget the poor guy who did was able to find the bomb at the Atlanta bombing and basically made sure
Slandered
people were safe.
him. Right.
Yeah, not only the press, the FBI, they came out publicly slandering this man. And they're mocking him. Oh, he lived with his mommy. Well, yeah, he was taking care of her.
Right.
And he did it to want to become a cop. He's a rent-a-cop. And all the things that they were going out and saying about this guy as legitimate news, right?
Yep.
And this is not a political story. This is just one guy went out there, did the right thing, and stood up and saved people's lives and keeping other people from getting grievously injured.
Right. But because of the way he looks, because of the way he talks and whatever, then they become an easy target.
Right.
That
and the fact that he lived with mommy.
Right.
It's like
that he can't help his mother. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, he's helping his mother. How noble of him.
Yes.
I mean, at one time, people would be going, "Oh,
that's what any child should do when their parents gravely ill." I had to do it when my mother had a heart attack, and I'd do it all over again if I had to.
Right, and I know people same thing. They made sure to help try to take care of their parent or other family members, for that matter.
Yes.
So again, why is this connected to the court cases? Because news cases with hearsay can affect judgment.
Exactly.
One of the reasons why you put a jury into a room where they have no access to the news.
Yep. Look, it's the same thing with the Jonathan Majors. Yeah, Jonathan Majors. That we were not going to be people who were going to jump on the case until we saw all the evidence.
Right. And we speculated both sides
even
on
when we had someone send
right.
me a DM saying I have new evidence saying that he didn't do it, I didn't go with it. I'm like, nope.
Well, what was he, Sam Spade? You got new evidence? You're Sam Spade. You hit the pavement and walked, and
I'm letting this court case play out. Once the verdict is reached, we will talk about it again. Just like with Rust. Any new information comes out, we will talk about it again.
Yeah. The only reason why we were hard on Alec Baldwin and still are is because he's opened his mouth so many freaking times.
He's an example of a piece of shit. The man has gotten worse, and he should be in jail along with the armorer. And hopefully he will.
Right. And this is off of him. This is off of what he's saying, not hearsay. It's coming out of his own mouth.
That's right.
He's saying things that makes the lawyer bang his head on the desk going, Alec, you mother trucking moron. Because he knows his job just got even harder.
Right. Yeah, well, Geraldo has been wrong about things, and he can.
Oh, Geraldo. Yeah,
Geraldo, Geraldo,
he's a-
Faldo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, remember. Bette Midler at one time accused him of, sexually assaulting her. I'm not kidding.
No, I'm sure she did.
Yeah. What happened to that? What happened to that story? What happened to all that? If you're going out there into the public and making that claim, well, shouldn't it have been investigated and looked into? I'm not saying he was guilty of it.
Yep.
I'm not saying she's lying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying there's nothing we can go off on that one.
Mm-hmm. And hello to Whoopa Troopa, who says, Megatron.
Whoopa, 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 whoopa. I don't trust that whoopa.
Silence, Baron Scream. Whoopa is a fine Decepticon.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, then again, I am pro Starscream. I'm pro Starscream, so of course I.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, I hope I sufficiently pissed off a lot of people and triggered them by making that statement about.
I hope I did too, man.
And here's my response to it, guys, because I let you guys take that whole part because, well, that's what I do here. If there's something that you guys are passionate about, a story that you want to talk about, you're passionate about, well, I'm going to let you guys take the reins on it.
And again,
if people got butt hurt, well, you know what? Grow thicker skin.
Right.
That's right.
Exactly. Because again, like I said, I am not exonerating him. I'm just saying, do a better job going after him, guys.
Yeah.
Make
really.
it lock.
Please.
Make it. Make it a case where you can't have an overturn like this.
Mm-hmm.
Do it so, again, like they said, don't let the victim have to go through this crap again because you were sloppy.
And Whoopa says, you're smart not to trust me, Baron. Watch your back.
Ooh.
I always.
Well, he is
like a true Decepticon.
I don't know that Whoopa. You don't feed it properly; it gets mad. So yeah.
Well, he's a Whoopatron. That's what he is. Whoopatron. Whoopatron.
But speaking of the Decepticons, Megatron becomes Roboson's first auto-transforming Decepticon. How's that for a Megatron impression?
Not bad.
Not bad, man. Not bad.
Yeah, Mr. Welker would be impressed with you.
I aim to make Megatron very proud. I'm not gonna read this whole thing in Megatron's voice.
Oh,
thank you. Because you know what, it'll destroy your voice, man. It will just. It's like Chase doing that screaming metal that he did.
Got to work on that. Got to work on that a certain way with your.
Yeah,
your
he admitted he screwed up. He admitted he screwed up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Don't be like Chase.
This article was posted on Thursday, the 25th. It's by Luke Thompson, and it says, "Remember when Robertson put out the auto-transforming Optimus Prime, and we collectively thought it maybe cost a bit more than we'd like, but heck, for one robot that awesome, maybe we could save up." And then they put out an auto-transforming Grimlock that walked in both robot and dinosaur mode, and it costs even more. And we thought, damn, that's even cooler.
Yeah, I mean, your sister had to hold you back. It's like, no, you can't do it, Mike. Step back. No, don't press that send button.
No, I saw the price. I'm thinking, no, and that's
and send no, and send no.
How many times are you hitting the send button, Mike? Stop.
No. I mean, as much as I like Transformers, these are way out of my price range, but they're still cool to look at, in my opinion.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
That's right. I say hell yeah.
And we thought, damn, that's even cooler. Can the budget stretch for just one more? Well, enough of you clearly did buy both of those. And it goes on to say, we can all agree to collectively forget the non-transforming Bumblebee and movie Optimus that Roboson is making more Transformers. Inevitably, Optimus must meet his match, and now he has Roboson's Megatron. It's just me, Prime.
Well, if he's going to meet his match, it should be Starscream because it's Starscream that's a real power.
Silence, Starscream. Your constant worship of Starscream has driven me to the depths I never wanted to go, but you brought it upon yourself.
Extinction to all traitors!
You
Ow!
are a traitor, Starscream, and this is your future.
Disrupts my coronation!
Coronation, Starscream? This is bad comedy.
Megatron? Is that you?
Here's a hint. Will anyone else attempt to fill his shoes?
See, that's what you should do. You should do it in the Galvatron voice.
I can't get my voice to sound like Leonard Nimoy's Galvatron. Not remotely close.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what a great voice Leonard had.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the way he can just switch it back and forth, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it says anything Prime can do, Megs can do better. Like Optimus, he's fully functional. How fully? Come on, Star Trek fans, you get the reference.
I was going to say, I'm sure he's data fully functional.
In both robot and tank mode, with tank treads that help him climb up sloped surfaces. He also features the voice of his G1 actor, Frank Welker, though Welker's voice is showing audible signs of strain from all the years of yelling. He's also programmable and responds to voice commands and app, but here's something new. Megatron accepts programmable sequences through users physically posing him, sorry.
Yeah.
And he has touch-sensitive sensors that provoke reactions. In the instructional video, he appears to shake his head at a bad touch. How dare you touch me there, insignificant fleshling!
Can you please point on the Transformer where Optimus Prime hurt you?
It was an Optimus, you fool! It was a flesh creature! A disgusting flesh creature!
It's a appreciated mutiny.
The Canadian Autobot. Hey,
Hey. Yeah, it's a Vauxhall. Yeah.
Canadabot.
Canadabot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a GM. It's not a Chevy, Ford. It's a Vauxhall or something like that. Yeah. Oh, a British. Can you imagine a British Transformer car? Ooh,
Oh, bloody hell!
yeah, a little Mini Cooper.
Megatron wouldn't
bloody.
be much. Megatron wouldn't be much of a tank if he couldn't fire. So indeed, his vehicle mode shoots projectiles, complete with realistic recoil action. Weapons include a light-up sword and a spiked ball mace that he can swing around really dangerously.
Ooh.
Don't let any kids use it to attack their siblings because we all know someone will be tempted to try. And we will take a look at this video.
Sweet.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't think we're gonna get any copyrights for it, but
No, that's one. No.
if I do, then I'll just edit the video portion out later.
Whatever.
It's like, yeah, it's like screw you guys.
That's right.
We're helping
Hasbro
here.
Pulse is taking pre-orders right now for a hefty chunk of change. 100 $100 would have been nice, but nope. You want to know what they're asking for? $899.99. That's right. 899.99 energon cubes.
Wow.
I think it would be easier finding the energon cubes maybe than
I
shelling
know.
out the money.
There we go. Oh.
We'll steal them from Megatron. It'll be fine. I'm sure he's around somewhere.
Yes, Cash, you're the perfect Decepticon to gather all the energy resources of this planet and convert them to energon cubes so I can conquer Cybertron and then the universe.
Yeah, why not?
I'm
That'll
having
work.
fun with this, folks. Come on, we gotta have fun when
Yeah,
we do these
why not?
streams.
Yeah.
I am amused. I am very amused.
Soundwave has more sense of humor than you do. You
He's
fool.
NPR bot, man. NPR bot. So.
Ooh, Ampier. Yeah. Oh, there we Well, that's a true Decepticon, then, it's the NPR.
I agree. It is.
MPR bot, what are you doing? Well, Optimus, Megatron sent me here to stop you.
I'm here.
Oh, jeez, Prime. This guy's gonna bore us to sleep. He's gonna make us go into stasis lock, Prime. Don't listen to him, I lied.
I have the special.
I brought the energon cubes today. Yay.
I'm going to make you listen to
Has
this
more
special interest
personality
story.
than this guy. It says, but you just need Megatron, and then your collection will be complete, right?
No, it never. No, it doesn't work like that.
Oh,
No,
hey, oh, I love comedians. I love comedians.
no, it doesn't. No.
We got a comedian writing this article. He's a real comedian, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure there was heavy sarcasm in that statement. There better be. Hey,
Says he tries not to manage the British if he can help. You would feel both, huh? Both of you have something against the British.
They do, I tell you.
One
Well, you could
step
have
closer to Skynet. You're not wrong.
Well, you could have a French one that go around in a car or a Citroen. You know.
Yeah, sir. I agree with Anonymous.
Yes,
Come on, man.
Massagitron.
Massagitron.
5-speed variable, folks. Yeah.
You feed it $1 and it gives you a massage.
$1 more. Happy ending. Okay, we just got canceled.
Yeah, until someone figures out how to make Constructicons that combine independently, start your savings accounts now. Enjoy the pics of Megatron below. I'll just enjoy looking at the pics.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to show the video? That's fine.
I'll show the video. I'm showing the pics first, Cash. Silence you incompetent imbecile.
Megatron's coming back. Now we're being Starscream.
Just Megatron.
I wouldn't put it past them to try to do a Constructicon thing like that. They're probably working in their little labs.
I mean, those pictures are awesome, though. But
Yeah,
for $900, I would hope. It's just the construction of this is very impressive, no doubt about that.
Yeah. But honestly,
$900, man. I mean, some people are going to buy it. Some people are definitely going to buy it.
Yeah, you know what? If someone has that kind of money to spend and that's what they want to spend it on, who am I to tell them?
Right. I
could be spending
Anonymous,
that
that
kind of
thing needs
money.
to be able to scratch your ass and you throw it against something and it turns it.
I mean, it's not like you could even display it in robot mode because once you turn it off, it goes limp.
Whoa, phrasing!
Whoa, hey! Zing!
Heyo! Recognition chips so Optimus and Grimlock will notice Megatron when he's near them. Who's to say that won't follow in an update for the app?
Right. I want this to be a home security system. For
Seriously,
that price,
for
I
that
want
money?
this a home security. Yeah.
You broke into my house, you incompetent fool!
I wanted to yell at people too when they like break it
Well,
out
it will
like
be.
that.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's gonna be yelling. Yeah. Extinction to all
Oh.
invaders.
That's right.
It's through tyranny. And peace in my house. We were sleeping when you broke in, you moron.
Yeah, they broke into Victoria.
All right, so let's check out. Let's check out this video of Roboson's very expensive, but admittedly cool looking Megatron, leader of all Decepticons.
Da 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 da. Ooh.
I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons.
The archenemy is here. Introducing the world's first auto-converting Decepticon robots, Megatron by RoboSen.
Wow.
Designed with a modern aesthetic and supervised by Takara Tomy Japan. Megatron stands at 21 inches tall, featuring more than 4,500 premium materials and powered by 118 chips, controlling 36 high-precision servo motors, enabling fluid transformation and actions.
Well, for $900, I freaking hope so.
Yeah, it better do that.
Crush them all.
Interact with your Megatron through an extensive library of voice commands. Voiced by Frank Welker, the Megatron himself from the G1 series. Or command him by remote control using your mobile device. Beyond the built-in actions, customize your Megatron by programming unique actions and sequences through the app. Or use easy programming mode. Now you can make him move without your phone. Fierce and formidable, Megatron will win any fight for Cybertron when equipped with the light-up Energon Sword and Energon Mace.
Energon Mace, so good.
I mean, that's an impressive feat of engineering.
Yeah, that is.
Featuring individual controlled track treads.
Wow.
Enabling the tank to perform pivot turns, mimicking real tank movements. Nothing will stop Megatron. Featuring 4 tank shells that shoot up to 60 centimeters. Powered by an advanced electric spring release mechanism. Featuring 2 touch sense zones, providing emotional action feedback when interacted with. Now you can get a more accurate battery reading in the battery indicator. Megatron will never run out of Energon ever again.
Oh, wow. Charger too, you don't have to...
Try and stop me, Prime. Nothing can stop me now. Not even you. It's time to finish this. A pleasure to see you, good Prime.
One shall stand.
What the heck?
One shall stand.
Megatron
Brian's
G1
got
Flagship
an
Edition
axe.
by RoboSen. Order now.
How about I just look at it from afar and admire it that way? Because that's what I'm going to be doing.
$900.
Mike's going to be going to every Ollie to see if there might be some overstock that they have in there.
So how much would you pay for that, Mike? If it's not
$100. I said earlier, $100.
Okay.
$100. $100.
$17.
You're not a true collector then.
Yeah.
No, I'm an adult who looks at that price and then goes, the adult in me goes, oh yeah, you got to pay for this, that, and the other.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
God.
Well,
what do
it's
you?
Very impressive.
What do you think about like some kind of like a game collection, like we'll say like one of the collection for some version that comes out? Do you think $250 with a statue, so a collector's edition for a game, would be too much money?
I wouldn't even spend. I wouldn't even spend that much.
What
I
about
would not spend
150?
that much.
Do you think that's too much? I think that could be reasonable,
That
but yeah.
that goes beyond my limit. If I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy a game, I don't need to have the collectible statue. Let's be
gotcha.
honest.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm buying the game to play the game, not to look at a collectible statue that, if I'm not careful, depending on what shelf I put it on, could end up falling and breaking at some point.
Mm-hmm.
right.
True.
Mhm.
That is true. Yeah.
He has a cat. Remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
Push. But yeah, I mean, but Mike and I were kind of talking a little bit beforehand, and again, I was lamenting that, these are all great, but they need to start focusing again on accessible
Yes.
toys. And yeah, I'm going to say the word toys,
Yes.
because if we don't
Right.
get that next generation in, these things won't matter in the future.
No.
Star Wars stayed alive because of the toys.
Right.
The first
Big
round,
deal.
and then when in the 90s when they brought it back, and you had easy accessible toys to play with,
Mhm.
and they got that next generation, especially when the prequel came out. If you're not going to make things affordable for families to go out and buy these toys, I can't give you this toy. It's a collector item. You can't play with it.
Right.
Well, we want to
Right.
play with our toys. Even us old people want to sometimes play with our toys. Just look at
Right.
Dark Helmet
Right.
and Mr. Carlson on WKRP in Cincinnati. I mean, honestly,
Mhm.
you want to be able to hold it, look at it, pose it, imagine. So these are nice. These are nice, but again, a majority of us can't afford it.
No.
And God
Oh,
bless anyone who can afford it.
It's like I mentioned during yesterday's member stream when I went to WrestleMania 29, and that was in 2013 in New York, New Jersey. I had saved up my money to get a replica of the, at the time, brand new WWE Championship, because they redesigned it, and I wanted to get one. Upon looking at it in person, I wasn't too sold on it. I'm like, no.
Right.
So I ended up taking that money that I had saved up for the belt and giving it to my mom so she could use it for things.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, isn't it disappointing when you do that? You take a look at it, and it's not what what you expected.
Yeah,
So,
that always
but
sucks.
It looked cheap, and they were
Mhm.
asking $400 for it. But I was looking at them
Oh.
going, no, this isn't worth $400.
I
Forget
mean,
it.
no,
Go
no.
back to like the toys of like the X-Men and stuff like for the 90s. Like those were well made too, and it's just
Yeah, the
and trying to
DC
get
ones.
those figures. Yeah, the DC ones were well made. Even going back to the 80s, they were well made. Wonder Woman,
Right.
Superman, you could just tell they just. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you should throw them against a wall or something, but
Well, no.
they were still well made. And nowadays, I mean, what kids talk about toys anymore? Obviously it's more a push of electronics, but
Right. But really, honestly, when you have something physically in your hand and not digital or pixel, it does change you a little bit. Because now,
oh boy,
you,
yeah, exactly.
no, yeah, I heard that he's whatever.
Mm,
But
go ahead.
yeah, I'm sorry, that threw me off.
I know, me too.
Dang you, Crit! I don't know what to say, but yeah, we make these toys so they can be played with every day.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some durability. I
Yes.
don't know if there's that much durability with this. What if this took a wrong fall? What gears and motors and circuits might break inside of it, and it won't be
Oh,
and then
don't
you have to
forget
get
the
it
chips
fixed.
too.
Oh,
Yeah. So
mhm.
it'd be hard to have that thing out because you're afraid it's gonna break.
Right. You got to
And,
put it.
and,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
you did have it out, you'd have to keep it in tank mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like you got to get a warranty on that or something. It's just
Yeah.
yeah,
Talk to your
probably.
insurance agent.
Man,
Make sure you got the insurance going for it.
that thing better be dang well durable to pay that kind of price. So you better do
Right.
everything that video showed, and
Yep.
not
And
just,
more. And more.
Uh-huh.
Ben.
And more.
Mhm.
Yeah, that should be that should be just a taste of what you see, not everything that's going to do. But yeah, I mean, these things aren't bad. Great, you're helping a segment of a group of fans that maybe some of them have more money than common sense. Some can actually go out and afford it. It's just nothing. Great for them to buy this. Wonderful. But let's not forget what helped make these things come to life. Is when these people were kids and they were playing with the various toys, whether it's Transformers, GoBots, Star Wars,
Yeah.
GI Joe.
Yeah, they were all well made.
Yeah,
GI Joes
Star
are
Trek.
still. I don't know. Are people still buying GI Joe toys? I guess maybe more collectors, but I don't think kids are
Yeah.
buying these toys
No.
anymore. It's more like
No, it's
electronic stuff.
collectors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sad. And we need to get back to a little bit of that because so much creativity came out of playing with the physical toys, more so than playing with pixels.
I mean, like Anonymous, he paid like $500 for his wand. That thing better do some magical things, huh, Anonymous?
5-speed variable. Yeah. It's improved many segments of his life. So the same thing with that Hogwarts broom that vibrated. Remember that? The Nimbus 3, and you get on there and it vibrates. Not kidding.
They had the toys growing up. Let's see, the Voltron toys were well made, and then of course the Sectors. Those were like the bug things, and then the Tom Petty stuff. Like this stuff is just well made, but I just don't think kids care about that stuff much more. I think some kids are still playing with Legos and obviously stuff. Even adults set up things. Yeah.
Well, I think they're not have the interest in it because it's never really been fully offered.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And are they doing? How's the PR? Yeah.
Yeah. All those other ones are just buying it like mad, and they take a look. Oh, we can do this as a collector market and make even more money.
Yep.
And you don't have it offered, people don't get interested. How many times do you have to tell a kid, no, you can't touch that? It's a collector's item. But I want to play with. No. If you get pushed back all the time on that, of course you don't have an interest in it.
No.
And they're doing it to themselves. I mean, they're doing it to themselves. This is great. I don't get me wrong. I think this is absolutely great. I wouldn't shell out that money if I was a big Transformer fan. I like the Transformers, but I would not, definitely not.
I'm the Transformers fan, and I'm saying I'm not going to shell out that kind of money.
No, if they do a Rodimus Prime, yeah, there we go. No.
I don't care who it is. It's like I said, even the Optimus. I'm not going to buy the Optimus.
Well, yeah.
As much as I love the character, I'm not buying it. And I'm not buying Grimlock.
But, I don't know who was the one that sat back and said in the chat about Soundwave and making a real boombox. Now, that'd be cool. You play your tunes off of there as well as being a Transformer. Now, that'd be awesome. I'm surprised someone ever did that.
Yeah, I remember a person I knew in the neighborhood had a Soundwave. That thing was cool, man. And it was well made, too, and it didn't cost $900.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm even seeing some of these toys. I mean, you got the Black Series Heir of the Empire, one coming out where you have the final battle between Jorah Seabeth and Luke Skywalker and Mara Jade collection, right? 4 figures. And it's like $70.
Yeah.
Or $80. I can't remember.
And the thing is, when Robeson does have a sale, because I see their ads all the time.
Yeah.
Because I look up Transformers stuff. And, when they have a sale, it's only $100 off. It's like, oh, that's big of you. $100 off.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big chunk of change off, but still, you still have even a bigger chunk of change to still pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for Ollie's. Go to Ollie's. They'll be there.
Well, yeah. It's just
I don't have an Ollie's near me.
that's not a
Five
very
Below.
good deal, man. It's like, I don't know, what is it? Or what was it, someone that like GameStop has, like buy 2 pre-orders, get 1 free, or buy 2 pre-owned games, get 1 free. It's like,
Mhm.
I guess it's
Yeah.
okay, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Should
Yeah.
it be the opposite way?
Yeah, it should be. What are you doing here, folks?
Yeah.
So, but that's the sad state of collectors. I believe in collecting because you like it, because you
Yes.
want to enjoy it, appreciate it, take it out of the packaging. Because you ruined the value. Well, I'm not a value collector because these things can go south on you in a heartbeat.
Yep.
What might be worth a lot of money one day, the next day, literally, it's $250 in the bin.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. So I still lament that for the kids of this generation not being encouraged. Well, of course, part of it also is we can't have shows that glorify these toy products, and we can't have these advertising aimed for kids because mothers just can't handle the fact that the kids ask for it. It was like, kids have always asked for a toy.
Yeah.
They want the Buck Rogers laser gun, a ray gun. Back in the 30s and the 40s, or Flash Gordon one, or they've always wanted. And you had that product placement. It's like just get some metal, stand up and say, no, I can't afford it this time, but maybe later, maybe Santa will bring it. Maybe your birthday. It's like just settled it down. You tell the kids, no, okay, I know you want it. Don't worry. You won't get it today, but who knows?
Well, it's just that's why it's like we were spoiled growing up, man. Go to toy stores, like even like they had the Game Boy KB toy stores over here in Southern California, man, dude. You go in there, they have a nice selection of GI Joes and Turtles and whatever you're into. Really, it's like, man, this was cool, dude. X-Men and all kinds of stuff. Go to the comic book store, like this Continental Comics place that's around here. They were selling like Silver Surfer. I remember I bugged my mom. I want to get a Silver Surfer. It was so cool. Had the board and everything. It's like, man, I want that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember going into places like Gemco, going into Kmart as a kid, and KB toy stores and Toys R Us, and seeing Transformers or Thundercats or any of the popular toys at the time, and seeing it. I couldn't get any that day, but it was more of my parents going, okay, what is he interested in right now? And what is he thinking about? Because there were times where I would bring a toy to my mom or dad and say, can we get this? And they would say, your birthday is coming up. Or Christmas is coming up. Or not today, but, if I, say for instance, if I brought home a good report card, they would sometimes, not all the time, sometimes reward me for getting good grades by getting me whatever Thundercat I wanted at the time, per se.
See, Cash, it would have worked for you too if you would have had good grades.
I did get good grades, man. Nice try though, Baron. Nice try.
Well, let's not forget the J.C. Penney catalog. Let's not forget the Sears catalog and whatever other catalog. You
cool
get that,
stuff.
you look right, and you circle in there which one.
There may. My dad had one of the Mandalorian collections, Padawannabe. You might be able to find a smaller figure. I don't know if you can find a bigger figure of Cara Dune, but you might be able to find the smaller one.
I have the retro version of her, which suits me just fine because it looks like the style they did back in the 70s and 80s, original run of Star Wars. So I got one of those. But that's again, there's another thing that they screwed up on. Here's a popular character, and let's just wipe it off the face of the earth. Not even make a
good character, man. Could have made Yeah, that
Yeah,
Republic.
Disney.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. You go through there. What's important with the Sears catalog? Sometimes they'd have an exclusive thing just for them.
Yes.
So you got something through them, and boom.
Oh man, I remember also buying the Batman figures, and even though like the Batcave wasn't it was still like as a kid, it's like, it's still pretty cool, man. And then they had the one with like the mansion, and then it opens up into the Batcave. It was pretty well made for its time.
Right.
Yeah. Those are pretty cool stuff. The Batmobile and the Joker figure, and they were well made. They were definitely well made. The cape was well made, and the figures. Yep.
I mean, I still got all mine. I mean, in the closet over there or whatever. So, I won't part with them.
Right.
There's no reason to part with them. They're such an important part of my life. What's the only thing I wanted was really the Star Wars toys. That was what I was fixated on, and so it was easy to buy for me. And it's like, well, why do you have so many other stuff? It's because that's really only thing I asked for. So all you had to do was just buy a Star Wars toy. I didn't have all these other things as well. So of course, if you're only buying for one universe, it's easier to get more of that one universe than if I want a Transformer, or I want to have the Buck Rogers, I want to have this one. No, it's just one thing. I was obsessed till then.
Yeah, I mean the G.I. Joes, Transformers, Turtles, building blocks, Legos. I mean, those are things that I had growing up. So
yeah, I had some Legos, but even then they were getting pricey back then. So
yeah, that's true. $100 set for what was it, like a pirate ship, like a cool pirate ship? It's like at least $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Legos have gotten incredibly ridiculous, and back then they were still pricey things. They were. And the thing is, I appreciated what I got. I mean,
me too, man. Playmobil stuff where I had the whole Indian set and the cavalry and the fort.
Oh yeah,
I was like, man, this is cool, and the building it and it looked cool. The teepee and it just looked cool, man. I don't even know if Playmobil is even popular anymore. I hope so for kids.
I hope so too.
Yeah,
those are cool.
I know Playmobil released an Enterprise.
Yeah. Oh, that thing was what? How many hundreds of dollars?
That's out of my price range.
Yeah, way out of. I saw the price for that. It's like, you gotta be effing kidding me. No wonder why you were having problems with Star Trek memorabilia if you're gonna sit back and have that huge price, especially with tarnished property right now. Even if it was the classic Star Trek. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. My toys aren't mint, obviously, because they were played with, but I tried to take as best of care as possible. Really.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's all about. Yeah, Army men, the little Army men and their base, the Guns of Navarone. Somebody else had that, and it was passed on, of course, and to other people in the family here, and it's cool stuff, man.
Yeah, you saw the adverts at the back of the comic books about getting your army, or you get your frontier set, or whatnot, and it's like, okay,
because these people cared so much about the products. You see the toy commercials, and you're like, oh man, that's cool. Yeah,
right. Oh, I tell you, when the new toys dropped for Star Wars, that got my attention Saturday morning, sitting in front of the TV.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's like, it's like, I still remember the music. It's like, oh, attention! All of a sudden, hey, it's not the Star Wars theme, but it's a Star Wars toy theme.
Well, you know what? I can remember walking into a Target in Escondido, California, which wasn't too far from where I lived, and I wasn't expecting to see Star Trek: The Next Generation figures. I hadn't seen any commercials for it, any kind of advertising for it, but I walked down the toy aisle and I look and I see that they have a few Next Generation figures on the peg hooks. And the first one I bought was Captain Picard.
Bill's favorite?
Well, I mean, he was there. I'm going, Star Trek: The Next Generation figures. I didn't know these were coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was it the original Gloob one, or was it
Playmates.
the Playmates? Okay.
My because at the time I was still buying Ninja Turtles, and that's what I had originally intended on buying was a new Ninja Turtle figure. If I saw one that caught my eye,
right?
But then I saw Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm like, huh? When did these come out?
One of my big regrets is I never got the Gloob shuttlecraft, what we called the Frog, because I loved that design of the shuttle, and I always regret. I mean, it was good enough to use for Best of Both Worlds. I mean,
and
blasted up ship.
The only time I'd actually seen those particular action figures in person was at a Star Trek convention when I went down to the San Diego Convention Center for one.
Yeah, you could get the Rikers because they shipped out like 15 Rikers to like every two of the other characters they had. So it's like people were buying the Riker ones and redoing them so they look like different people, and it's like it was Riker mania. It seemed like from Gloob's part. It's like do a little more variety, Gloob. Good job.
No, I did like it when Gloob was making Micro Machines, and of course they released the Star Wars Micro Machines, Star Trek Micro Machines. I love that.
5.
Yep.
Though I do think stuff like Hot Wheels obviously are still popular with kids and games and stuff. Yeah.
Well, again,
even Hot Wheels so much. Yeah.
But again, Hot Wheels kind of go.
Yeah, at a store I worked at, we had an older gentleman who would come in every week to see what new Hot Wheels we got in because he was a Hot Wheels collector.
Yep. I tell you, go to toy fairs or anything like that, there's always going to be a couple tables dedicated to Hot Wheels and maybe a Matchbox.
Not surprised at all.
Well, there's some neat ones they came out with. I mean, I got a couple of the Batmobiles from Hot Wheels because they're just neat. I have one that's like 30 years old, and then they've got some newer ones that came out, including the 89 Batman. So there's a lot of nice stuff, but again, if you keep it priced right, it should be something that they need to go out there with the every person toy. I mean, where the adult and the kids can buy it and then appreciate it. Let the kids get into that magic because it was magic. Toys are magic.
We used our imaginations when we played with the toys. I mean, I used my imagination when I played with my Dukes of Hazzard toys that I had. Yes, I had Dukes of Hazzard toys.
Nice.
Yeehaw! The General Lee where you put them into the top, flip the top.
Yes, I had it. I had it. I wish I still did, but it was one of those things where I played with it so much, and I played with it pretty rough that it broke.
Well, how can you not? You're jumping stuff with it, It's good old boys, never meaning no harm. Yep.
I had this one toy truck that was just big enough to where I could put my G.I. Joes in it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's just it. We crossed our toys sometimes. I have one G.I. Joe. Unfortunately, the rubber inside of it you have for the articulation, of course, dried up and it's not together anymore. But it's like, okay, I got one of the. It was the infantryman. It's like, oh, maybe I can have this like a backup Star Wars character, a soldier or whatever, rebel soldier or a bounty hunter or something like that. I got it. My mom got me a 4-pack of Flash Gordon. It's Flash, one of the Mongol officers, Lion Man, and Lizard Woman. And it's like, yeah. I got some Battlestar Galactica ones too. and it's it's like they're still there. They're still a part of me. Some Buck Rogers, Buck Rogers, 25th century. So it's like they mean something, and I think it's because the imagination. It goes with that storytelling, appreciating storytelling, getting involved in your own storytelling, and a lot better than Pixels because, like you said, just like a lot of movies and games and whatever, they have to walk you through and tell you instead of having you figure out or come to the conclusion on your own point.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember going over to my grandmother's on my mom's side, and I had a set of Lincoln Logs at my house, but she also had a set of Lincoln Logs for me at her house. Because at the time, I really loved Lincoln Logs.
Yeah.
And, I would bring my Optimus Prime over to her house. I would, build my Lincoln Logs and actually keep Optimus inside sometimes. Or if I had another Transformer, I didn't have very many, but if I had another Transformer over, then that would be a part of it too. And I'm used to my imagination. I remember having this bag where I would put some of my toys in this bag and bring them over to my grandmother's. It didn't matter what toy was in there. It could have been a mismatch of different toys, and I would do something with them. And the Legos, Lincoln Logs, and
Lego Logs.
That's cool, man.
And I can remember my grandmother saying, "What you building there, Michael?" And I said, "Just building."
You realize
just building, Grandma.
You realize this conversation is almost making Mike tempted to do a collector stream before the collector stream, a pre-collector stream.
I've already said about the collector streams. I want them to be once a year.
But it's still tempting.
Special stream once a year. I know it's tempting, but I want them to be a special event, and I'm holding to that.
Makes sense.
Because if I do collector streams over and over and over again, then they wear out their novelty. I want them to be a special event.
Oh, we're just a novelty to you. Okay, I see. I understand now.
Oh,
novelty.
You know what? You can't win with anybody nowadays because everybody gets offended. Even Baron scream. Oh,
gotcha.
Novelty.
Yeah. This is the world we live in, man. Come on, get with the times, man.
I mean, even now, I'm still planning the Transformers stream for September. I got to start working on some of it again, and some of the things I'm doing.
That's why I'm rewatching Gen 1 because I want to get back up to speed on it because it's been a while since I've seen somebody. But my big question here is, right, Decepticons, they're bad guys. They're known for let's destroy stuff. Then why are the construction cons Decepticons?
Constructicons, you fool! You've got to keep watching the series to find out why they are Decepticons.
Yeah, we think that a building group like that would be good guys. I'll watch. I'm thinking
they were originally intended to be Autobots. Same with the Predacons in G1. They were originally intended to be Autobots. But then that changed. Just like Rumble, he was supposed to be called Frenzy, and Frenzy was supposed to be called Rumble. There was a mix-up.
Well, that's like the Star Wars mix-up. 4-LOM and Zuckuss, they got mislabeled as action figures. Really? Not mine. Brick Killerman.
I didn't say you were. I did not say you were.
With a trident. Man, don't forget.
Yeah. Yeah, Pat wannabe doesn't know how that Tonka dump truck size hole at the end of the hallway got
Yeah.
there. Right. We had a planter and we didn't have any plants in it at the time, so I would take my construction vehicles and I would play in the dirt. And my dad's like, "What are you
Hmm.
doing?" I said, "Play in the dirt."
Yeah. With Tonkas, what you should be doing with a Tonka toy.
Yeah.
I rescued a Tonka dump truck from a dumpster. One guy came to drop off his trash at a place I was working at. One of the things was a Tonka truck. It's like, it was it's well used, and there were little fixes on it. It's like, you don't ever throw away a metal Tonka toy.
No.
No. I mean, I'm sure I could give this to the right person to clean it up and make it look all pretty. I mean,
I had a dump truck and I had a crane.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a dump truck, a crane, I think, or no, a tow truck that has a double thing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still over at my parents' house. I need to collect those up. I had an ambulance.
I even had a truck that had the cherry picker on it.
Oh, I got the hook and ladder fire truck.
Mm.
Now that's neat.
Yeah, definitely neat.
And of course, Tonka has a special place for us here because Tonka Toys was a Minnesota company made in Minnesota out of Minnetonka, Minnesota.
And if certain Phil McCracken is listening, it was Tonka who helped release GoBots here in the United States.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right.
Those GoBot toys are well made, whatever Phil wants to believe.
Well, yeah, all of them.
Yeah, all diecast toys were well made. Yeah, well, we did, but they held up to it. They held up to that abuse.
Oh, they did. Well, what was it? Didn't they have where an elephant stepped on one? And it didn't crush, or I can't remember. Somebody did something like that. So. But yeah, those are great. We need to make toys great again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could keep pushing on social media that they need to make these toys great again, but I don't know if it'll help. I don't know if kids care anymore, and I just
Well, I think they don't care because they haven't really. I think the moment they start experiencing some of it, they will, especially if it's tied into something that they like.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's the important thing. You got to do it to where they have the interest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
well, that's with anything. If you want someone to get into a series that they've never watched before, you show them the series from the very beginning.
Right.
If someone wants to get into Star Trek, I'm showing them the original series.
Yeah.
No, I want to watch the new stuff. No, you're gonna watch this stuff.
No. Yeah, this is where it began. Yeah.
You're gonna watch Star Trek proper.
Right. It's you can't call yourself a fan if you haven't experienced it. Just like you can't call yourself a Doctor Who fan if you haven't experienced at least some of the original classic series and see where it came from. Same thing with Star Wars. You got to at least see proper Star Wars. If it's all just the new stuff, then you're trendy. I will sit back and say that. I'll be elitist that way.
Yes.
Because Lord knows they are.
You know what I might do next weekend?
Uh-oh.
Because one thing is confirmed. I mean, I've already told you in Cash about this, but next Sunday, I'm going to go see Empire Strikes Back for the first time in a theater. But what I might do Saturday, because I'm thinking about it, and the ticket's not going to be expensive, is I'm going to go see Phantom Menace the day before. So Saturday, I'm going to go see Phantom Menace, and then Sunday, I'm going to go see Empire Strikes Back.
Totally worth it.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's Phantom Menace on the big screen, definitely. I mean,
Oh yeah.
as much as it gets stumped on, you
Yeah.
gotta remember, people kept on going back to watch this, go
8,
back to
9
watch
times.
right.
Attack
So
the
it's like,
Clones and of course Revenge of the Sith. They went
yeah,
over and over and over again. Yes.
right. So I mean, as it goes, your whining is falling on deaf ears. I'm not saying it's a perfect movie or whatever, but it's still fun to see in theater. You have to go see Phantom Menace in the theater for one thing and one thing only: the pod race.
Yeah.
Just for that. I mean, that was the one part of the movie I didn't think was gonna, it's like I was gonna be whole hum about, and that got me excited.
Man, the pod racing was so cool. Yeah,
it was. I was impressed. It was like, oh wow, okay, I take back what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And yeah,
yeah.
Even the
well, they made a
Menace
game
was,
of it too. And that's a fun game too. I mean, yeah, the pod racing. I'm still not a big fan of the celebration at the end. And we see the giant shiny ball. Not a big fan of that, but overall, I still think Phantom Menace is a good movie. I know some people think it's perfect. I'm not going to say that, but I think it is a good film. I really do. I still think it's a 7 out of 10 or whatever. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Well, that celebration song at the end, that's the Emperor theme sped up and partied up. The one that you hear in the and then Return of the Jedi with da 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 da, and
that's true. It is. That's cool. That's a good point. Yeah.
The thing about John Williams being able to do that, weave it like that, help weave that story, help drop those hints. Well, we all do.
Well, it's also funny in that scene too when Padme looks at, or Queen Amidala looks at Anakin and that smile on her face. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah. See me in a few years, big boy.
That's right. Yeah.
Are you an angel?
Yeah. It's just the celebration was fine. One thing I do like about the Viceroy, I like all that diplomatic, political stuff going on. That was really cool to me. I like how the movie started. It's a good film. I'm not. Yes, Jar Jar can be annoying and stuff, but he becomes a lot less annoying in Attack of the Clones. So.
Well, that's because he only had a couple lines.
Right. Right. That's true.
But he's also the one that helped cause the Clone War in the Stormtroopers.
That's true.
He was played, or was he? No.
But the Gungans as a race, like they weren't bad. Boom, bam, bam. Like it was just it wasn't bad. It's a good movie. Jace is in the chat. We've had some interesting conversations about the prequels. I've always just felt that overall they've just gotten too much shit. And what I want to always point out to people, as I always do, it's a cohesive story. It doesn't matter if you could find things in there that you don't like. Overall, it's still enjoyable. And it's still a lot better, and it makes a lot more logical sense than what we're getting now in a lot of ways. Different, yeah.
I mean, my complaints is how Lucas wasn't exactly doing a good job tying it together with elements that we were told before happened, and he had to turn around and do retconning on with other films, the other ones. That was my big complaint with that. It's like I liked his original version where it was going to be just Obi-Wan was already a Jedi. He was solo. Through half that mission, he found an older Anakin, so that made more sense. But Lucas changed it. Qui-Gon was going to be in it, but he was going to join up after they get to Coruscant, and
would have been interesting.
Right. But of course, you get Liam Neeson. It's like, oh, we're going to have to really play this Liam Neeson character. Let's change that and let's make Anakin younger because it'll be more impactful. No, I disagree. I think it would be more impactful if you had like more of a 15-year-old Anakin.
Sure. Yeah.
And no offense to Jake Lloyd, this is not a assault on Jake Lloyd. It's
No.
more an assault on Lucas's directing abilities. When you have somebody younger, you need to be really good director to get a child actor out. And unfortunately, I don't think George had it. And that's why I don't. And then what? I don't remember any really big hate going against Hayden. I mean, not Jake Lloyd at all. I don't. I don't remember it at all.
I don't remember people found him annoying, but I don't. I didn't always pay attention to that stuff. I mean, even Hayden Christensen, he's a good actor. I know some people say he's great. I'm like, nah, just the stuff I've seen him. He's a good actor. I'm not gonna say he's bad.
No.
Could he have gotten better? Yeah, I guess. It also depends the roles people get too. Right. So how they're directed.
Yeah, and I sense that Hayden Christensen is one of those director actors where he relies heavily on a director telling him on stuff. Mm-hmm. And again, that's nothing bad. But then again, you got to have a director who's good. And unfortunately, George isn't. Even George himself, I think, even admits that he's not. Faster, more intense, as they say.
I think it's just also you don't want a bunch of yes men around you. Like, hey, George, this is something we could do better. Hey, George, we could do this better and do this. Yeah. Right. I think with any director, any kind of project, I think it's good to take feedback. I think it can be a problem where you just want to be an egomaniac about things and be like, no, this is the way it is, and that's it. No, that's not good.
So what do we got for movie here? We got the box office mojo. They finally came out with their stuff.
I guess so.
The box office was finally updated.
Yay! About time, losers.
Hey, Baron, I also had a question. You said you never liked Alien all that much. Is it just the setup? Is it the characters you don't like as much? Is it just the
no?
I was just curious.
It's not my thing. I mean, I don't hate it or whatever. It's just not my thing.
Okay.
I think it's in some ways brilliant. Taking that horror and putting it into space,
right?
Like they did in all that one, and they borrowed from A. Van Volt's Voyage of the Space Beagle. They wanted to kind of ignore that they were using some of that as the influence for that. But it's just for me, it was just something that didn't really resonate with me, and I can understand why it resonated with others. I'm not saying it was a bad product or I hate it. Right. It's just not my thing. So when it comes around to horror, I'm more of your classic horror. Universal and even Hammer. Stuff like that I like. American Werewolf in London, Fright Night, stuff like that. I'm not necessarily for the let's go out and have the gore, shock effects, stuff like that. And that's just my taste. I mean, I don't like zombie stuff.
Yeah, I understand that it can be when they oversaturate these certain properties, it can be too much, I feel. Yeah.
And even before that too, I was never really a big zombie fan.
I get that. Yeah. What Jace was just saying, I just wanted to, because I just caught it. Yeah. No, I agree. Hayden, I'm sure he did. He likes the character a lot. He likes Anakin a lot. And I think he did a good job with it. And I think he did the best, definitely, with Revenge of the Sith. I think he had some of the best lines. He has some good ones in Attack of the Clones. But definitely was the best in Revenge of the Sith.
Right, and my statement is not a criticism, downplaying him or attacking him at all. It's just that there certain actors, they're method actors. Some actors are actors. Some are director actors, and such. It's just people are individuals. Each one does things in their particular way, and I think I just get this feeling he is a director's actor, and. And faster, more intense isn't exactly the best way to direct him, but he did a good. He did a good job. And all that. It was fun to poke fun at Anakin.
Yes.
But again, just poking fun. It's not attacking him.
Right.
I would not think of attacking him, just like I never thought about attacking Jake Lloyd or Ahmad Best or any of that stuff. But it's again, when you're fans and all that, you still have, you have an obligation and a duty to have fun and poke fun at your favorite properties.
That's right.
Because if you take it too serious, then you're in trouble. It's
I
supposed to be
agree.
fun. But
And
yeah, I know he did a lot of work. I know he did him and Ewan McGregor both did a lot of hard work for training, just like Liam Neeson for episode 1 in Ewan McGregor. That's the case. I mean, you're going to have those type of fights. It's you're going to have to work at it, and about the only one, obviously, Christopher Lee, because of his age, they had to do body doubles for him. So,
yeah, that's. Oh, I'm sure.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, this, and that's why, like, it's still disappointing to me because that Kenobi series could have been so fucking good overall. It really could have.
Oh,
if
yeah.
they just did certain things right, and I understand in the novel when he sees Vader on the screen and whatever, as I was told, talked about people who have read the novel, I may read it myself. I probably should. I've heard it's quite good. I don't know how they would work, but yeah, would it have worked in live action if you have Obi-Wan Kenobi staying on Tatooine? It might. Maybe he didn't need to go off planet. I don't know. I don't know if it would have worked as well on live action, but yeah.
No, they should not have done it at all because, again, what was his one job, his one task, the most important task there was? To keep an eye on Luke, to keep him safe.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, if he had Inquisitors getting that close to young Luke, Vader would have known about it.
Oh, absolutely.
If he had any hint that Obi-Wan was also there, he would have been there in a heartbeat.
I just the whole thing is, like, after finishing that whole show, and I know there'll never be a season 2, and there doesn't need to be. I have to. It's like, no, Vader and Kenobi just didn't need to meet at that time. They really didn't.
No,
they really didn't.
No, it ruins the impact of Star Wars on the Death Star.
I agree.
It ruins that impact where they finally boom come together at that end, and why? Just why? Fan service? Well, you're forgetting about other fans like me.
Well, this is what they're doing to all these different franchises. They have to change it. Look at what's happened with Velma from Scooby-Doo. It's like, no, man, you guys have forgotten what so many people love about
Scooby-Doo and that particular character so lovable, likable, so special.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, quit destroying our stuff. That's all I gotta sit back and say. Quit destroying it. Quit.
You're just going in the wrong direction. Like, you don't want to understand it. And when you always say, I'm going to make things better, it's like, no, you just need to add to it. Just add to it. But we can beat this drum until our brains explode. It's just add to it.
Right. Yeah. Well, novels, comics, all that stuff is supplemental stuff. They shouldn't be needed to fully explain what you're trying to do in a movie or a TV show.
No, I agree. And looking at the box office, I mean, you saw Frozen Empire. I mean, is that finally starting to make somewhat of a profit, Mike? I know you.
Well, I wouldn't say it is.
I mean, Afterlife did very well for Sony. Very well. Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, remember the formula you got. There's so many different ways you can do that recipe, but don't start putting elements in there that don't belong. Sometimes you need to cut back on one thing and bring a little bit of the other that you have part of your recipe book, or sometimes, another way, or have an equal blend. But again, stay within what the parameters of your recipe is. Don't.
I mean, if you notice with Ghostbusters Afterlife, it hasn't even cracked 200 million.
Wow.
That's not good.
No,
it should have, but it didn't. But for reasons, right? If you're making a cake, you're not going to use curry powder, right?
Yeah.
I mean, You might add a little bit more extra chocolate, or maybe more vanilla, or whatever. But you're not going to go, well, while we're at it, let's throw some curry in there. No.
Yeah. I think one of the most disappointing thing is always it's not so much like what they're all doing and lecturing people. It's just also the fact that all this money they're just leaving on the table for all these different projects, the things that they could really do because they have all this money available. And it's just they could do so much amazing stuff from DC, Marvel. Again, they can do it all kinds of cool stuff, and they just won't. They're like, this is what we have to focus on. But okay, guys, but it's losing money. And then when people want to argue about no, it's not.
Unfortunately, they don't care.
They
that they're
don't.
losing money cash.
They don't. I know. We
No.
know this. So
Well, now they're starting to, because
now they
they're
may
not getting
start
the backings that they were
right.
getting.
Yeah.
And now it's the scramble. It's like, well, maybe you should have been doing this in the first freaking place, instead of accepting all this backing from governments and government agencies to do your entertainment a certain way to get a certain message out. It's amazing what would happen. People have been clamoring to see your films if you're doing it the way you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
now it shows even more so the fraud that Hollywood is.
Yes.
You cannot trust any of the box office numbers and records that they try to sit back and tell us anymore now.
Yeah, you look at all those movies besides Dune Part 2, like I know it's like, oh, but Henry Cavill's in this, but still it's like maybe if I'm going to watch this, I'll watch this on cable, or whatever. It's just you don't want to go to the movie theater for a lot of this stuff anymore because you're like, am I supposed to be excited about this?
Well, yeah, you need to get the excitement. You got to get those proper tie-ins done. You got to, this is an event, right? You get your glasses from McDonald's, you get Burger King.
Yes, exactly.
Where, if it's associated with having toys, you get that toy line going out there, good quality but affordable toys, so the kids can play with it and get excited about it. And yeah, even books and novels or comics, if that's something that's going to be tied into it. But when you start doing R-rated stuff, you can't really do that, can you?
No, you can't.
That's why it always flabbergasted me when I was a kid, going back to Alien, right? But Kenner released an Alien toy for kids back when the movie came out. And as a kid at that time, I was kind of, not beside myself, but, it's like, huh? Because it's like, this is an R-rated movie. Why would you tie into an R-rated movie like that, a horror gore fest? Because, even back then, kids weren't, you didn't necessarily take kids to see a film like that.
No,
right? It's an adult film. But here you're marketing to kids. It's like, it didn't make sense to me. I mean, it's a neat looking toy, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But that's just it. I mean, let's make Marvel films now R-rated films, and same thing with DC film. Hey, let's have an R-rated Star Trek or R-rated Star Wars. Well, then how are you going to get that younger set when these films and these series? I would call Star Trek a family series back in the day. Anybody can sit down and watch it and enjoy it for the different stages of their lives, and you could have toys associated with it. You can't do it with Picard or STD or strange new stories. I mean, you can't. How can you tie it in when you got that arrogant attitude? No, it's for adults now. It's not. And same thing with Star Wars. Let's start throwing in some bad language and stuff like that. No, I mean, you had your hells and dams, but again, you're not going to get that next generation.
No.
Star Wars is family. I know George sat back and said it's a kid's film, but really it's family, right? It's more than just kids' film. Star Trek, was was a family fest. My former wife used to sit back and say, when it came down to her house, whenever Star Trek was on, that was everybody went and sat in front of the TV. Everyone. So we need that again. Quit pushing kids away, or the younger set, or whatever. Start being more truly inclusive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would be nice.
Yeah, not the rainbow pony unicorn farts inclusive. I'm talking about truly inclusive.
No, because like they still, even there, those characters become other stereotypes, so they become whiny. It's like, no, this is not that great, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want this to grow. I want our fandom to grow. I want that new generation wrapped in, but there's nothing we can offer of modern day for it. Really.
No, not
No,
really.
that's why you have to show them the old stuff. That's why you have to,
right?
When they're old enough to watch a movie like Stripes, show them a movie like Stripes.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. That's the
Animal
fact.
House.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Blues Brothers.
Definitely.
And when they ask about Blues Brothers 2000, say to them the straight face.
Yeah.
That film is an anomaly. It's not real. It's part of your imagination.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
That's right.
It's the Mandela effect. You got the Mandela effect going on there.
Yep.
But when it comes around to Blues Brothers, all you got to sit back and say, we're on a mission from God.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Don't you be blasphemous in here.
We got our smokes.
Yeah.
We're on a mission from God.
Yeah. What a great film that was.
Great movie, man. And it started as a skit on SNL. It's just like, they can turn this stuff in if they care enough. Like they tried they tried with stuff like Ladies Man and even Night at the Roxbury. It just they went overboard with it, but it might have been able to work. Maybe if they
even did it with
stuff.
the Mary Catherine Gallagher skit, calling it Superstar, and it didn't work as a movie.
Let's not forget it's Pat and Stuart Smalley. They did that.
Yep, that's true.
But let's look at the other big one that the one that actually did take off. Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, the first one. Yeah, the first movie.
Yeah. Well, the second one wasn't bad either.
It was all right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, still compared to the other Saturday Night Live movies that they based off of characters. I mean, yeah, but remember Coneheads? Yeah.
Not really, but
yeah. That's the reason why. Yeah, Mandela effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't again their shining moment with Coneheads, But some of the characters don't need to have.
But they came from France. They ate Subway.
Mm-hmm.
And they ate mass quantities of Subway. Mass quantities.
I mean, the Coneheads are great for it.
And also, one of the shots they used one of the shots from Next Generation of a ship going at warp.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Blues Brothers, Wayne's World, both of those definitely, boom. Coming off of Saturday Night Live. Just because you had a skit on Saturday Night Live does not constitute a movie.
No, and especially if you go overboard with it, which a lot of them did. I mean, you watch The Ladies Man, it's like, okay, I laugh at some of these parts, but a lot of this movie is really stupid, and not in a good way.
Right. I mean, it's like doing We're Two Wild and Crazy Guys movie.
No.
I mean, even back then, it would not have.
I'm Hans. He's Franz. We're gonna pump you up.
Yeah,
that one they did a whole movie. Whole movie like that. I don't think it would have worked.
Not as a movie.
No. I mean, they'd have to be. It could work if they had the right amount of talent and knowing how to do it. But then again, it would have been a fluke. It would have been a fluke if it was. I get our Dieter. You want to touch my monkey? Certain things work great as sketches, or maybe even a half hour or an hour special, but not a movie.
Yeah, no.
That's one thing we don't have anymore. We don't have those.
No, we don't.
Those 1 hour or half hour live action special shows that were, just to have for goofiness, and we don't even have that anymore. God, we've lost a lot.
No, we've forgotten how to laugh. We have forgotten how to laugh.
Well, yeah, and more than just laugh, just appreciate just having a, that CBS logo. It's a CBS special presentation. Tonight's program will not be seen at its regularly scheduled time. In place of that, we have, and it'd be a one-off special. Boom. We don't get that no more.
Or even as a kid, The Wonderful World of Disney. What classic Disney movie are you going to see that Sunday?
Oh, it's time to watch Davy Crockett on Sunday. Oh, all right, cool, man.
Davy Crockett.
King of the
wild frontier. Let me hear you shout it, Davy.
My mom loved Davy Crockett. She did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I can remember coming home from a fishing trip with my dad. We went to this area called June Lake. And on our way home, we stopped at this one store that sold Indian pottery. My mom loved Indian pottery.
Yeah.
So my dad would always stop there and get my mom a new piece.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one time we go in there, he gets her a new piece of pottery, and I see a coonskin hat. And I asked my dad for it. My dad bought it for me. My mom sees it. She says, "It's mine now."
Yep. I saw that coming. Well, that's just it. I mean, and that's the thing. We have so many channels out there.
Yes.
That they're scampering to try, and paywalls. Let's not forget the paywalls. That they're trying to scramble to put entertainment on. It's time to dial back the channels and the paywalls, and then just start focusing on quality.
Yeah, really.
It's time to have a little less now, because you don't need one program on 5-6 different cable networks at a time, because being repeated. If that's all you can do to fill it, you have too many channels.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need Andy Griffith on this channel, this channel, this channel, this channel, and this channel.
That's true. We probably don't.
No.
Oh, come on! What do you got against Aunt B? Come on.
No.
She was a mean woman in real life. Oh,
really?
Yeah, she was. She did not like Andy Griffith, and she was very, very temperamental lady on that. And after the show, she became kind of a recluse. And she was not. I understand she was not Aunt B, from what I understand. But still, but no, it's not having anything against it. But it's like, you change the channel, it's the same show or a commercial. It's like,
well, there's barely anything that's even considered family anymore. I mean,
no,
it's usually going to be something like linked to like what they have with Young Sheldon. That is literally what a family show is. They have all the families, these kids growing up. Definitely different than The Big Bang. But the thing is, there isn't many family shows at all anymore. And we've talked about this before on stream, but there just isn't. It would be nice to have that again.
Right. And even some of the stuff that we consider more for the adult shows, really, is kind of tame. I mean, like Cheers or Night Court or such. But those weren't meant for kids. But honestly, you can have a kid sit down and watch it and be amused by it in one fashion. But they're drinking and smoking. Get over it.
Who cares?
There's some people. I mean, they make such a big deal about it.
They bar.
Warnings. You have to put warnings now on shows. There might be smoking in this show. Okay.
Oh no.
I was going to watch it anyways. Quit giving more reasons to watch it.
That's right. Well, they did. IFC did that before with Gilligan's Island. Well, this depicts things that we don't exactly approve of anymore, and it was a certain time, and I'm like, shut up.
Yeah. Shut your mouth.
Gosh.
It's like, and that's the problem. And
Yep.
I mean, I remember watching the original Mickey Mouse Club growing up. Black and white. I could swear it was in color, but growing up, I swore it was in color, but
Yeah.
but it was black and white, and the little bits they had, of course, they had like Spin and Marty little shorts in there, which again we got to put a warning in front of Spin and Marty. No, Spin and Marty's freaking wholesome.
Yep. No, I'm sure it is, man. And it's just
Well, they have it on Disney now.
Yeah, just Disney and Nickelodeon, they've all forgotten about like how much family there could be with their shows. Like, yeah, SpongeBob, I will say it still has good messages for kids and so on. But you give shows Phineas and Ferb, especially a lot of props if they can appeal to both kids and adults.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need to have that ability to weave in several layers of humor.
Mm-hmm.
So people can appreciate it. If you're young, I start appreciating it as you get older and start seeing the new facets and maybe satire or whatever that was in there. It's like, oh my,
Yeah.
And you don't have people that talented no more.
They don't. And then some of the people. Yeah, it is. It's fart jokes, and it's just like, I know we're sounding like cranky old people, like Phil. Get off my lawn, right? Yeah.
I am.
But yeah, no, they have fart jokes. That's why it's also so weird. It's like, okay, there's a Smurf movie coming out, and they've got fart jokes and they got poop jokes. In Smurfs, really? Like that's never what the animated show was about. Just like, what is it? Chippendales Rescue Rangers. Actually, I know they did that one, which I heard is pretty funny, but I just haven't watched it, where they had the different characters and in that Disney movie. It came out a few years ago. They were like mocking this character, like this one had a relationship with the bee or something from Chippendales Rescue Rangers. Just weird stuff. I've never watched it. I heard it's pretty funny. You know what I'm talking about? Chippendales, what was it called? Rescue Rangers.
Rescued Rangers.
Yeah, it was. That's what it was. The live action. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, people liked it. I think it made, and didn't like it, but I think it made pretty good money. I haven't watched it yet. I've thought about trying it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Alvin and the Chipmunks, poop jokes. I go back to this. They do a Three Stooges film. There has to be poop jokes. It's like, why, guys? Like, this is never what it was about.
That wasn't the Three Stooges. That was not the Three Stooges.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
No, it's about hitting each other over the head. It's not having a fecal finish.
Right, exactly.
And yeah. So, time to go back to school, people.
Seriously.
You want to know how to make a good movie? Go back to school. Watch the stuff that you are so disgusted to want to see because you were told that you shouldn't be watching it because it's supposedly so horrible.
Yeah,
maybe there's a reason why they're telling you not to watch it.
Take a good film class that shows you film noir and different other styles of movies, older films, some are newer movies like LA Confidential and so on. These are really well-made films, and just go back and watch that and study that, and you'll get a whole bunch of ideas.
Yeah, let's not forget Cash's film noir film that he did, the Silent Chin.
The Silent Chin, I like that.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
And on that note, let's not forget to go ahead and wrap this up.
Yep.
We're gonna wrap it up. Oh, okay.
Yes. Wrapping it up.
All right.
Like a Christmas present. Wrapping up like a papoose. Wrapping it up like a burrito. There we go. Burrito. Oh.
So before we wrap this up, is there anything either one of you would like to promote?
Well, it's looking to be still on track. Saturday, 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on Baron Norman Tag's Phantom Legacy. Continuing our talk on Babylon 5 Season 5. It'll be part 3, so Mike and Cash will hopefully be there, as well as Lord Crit and the infamous, I said it, infamous, Philip J. McCracken.
Yes. And coming up on the Phantom Hooligans, we've got the angriest Canadian of all, supposedly. We don't know exactly. We think he might be. But Angry Canadian will be my guest, and I will be playing this game East, and he'll be asking me questions about it, and I'll be doing a grind session for a few hours. So I'll be gaining more levels. Should be a lot of fun, and we'll be talking about also some other, probably while I'm playing it, some other Japanese RPGs that maybe some people don't know about still. Learn about that. So that'll be, that'll be on Tuesday at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because that works out well for Angry Canadian. And then I don't have this scheduled yet, but we will also, of course, on Friday at 6:30 p.m. we'll be back. We'll be killing robots, automatons, and bugs, and we'll be back with some more Helldivers too. So that'll be a lot of fun, and that'll be at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then I'm still working on some videos. I'm probably going to be playing this game where this crab fights things, and I don't want to spoil too much of that, but it's got like a Dark Souls meets SpongeBob vibe to it.
Cash has crabs.
Playing as a cutesy looking crab thingy.
Get out there and make me money.
That's right. It's Mr. Krabs, but he's running around with a fork and he's stabbing other bigger crabs.
It's Spudge Cash.
Sponge Cash. But yeah,
Sponge
so that'll be
Cash
coming up.
Square Chin.
Square Chin, the greatest chin ever. Yes. Well, at least on Pop Talk. But so that'll be coming up. So yeah, some cool stuff on the Phantom Hooligans, and then coming up a little bit in the future will be when Mike's finally finished with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I think we'll be starting Double Dragon, the newest Double Dragon game. So that'll be fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Controversy.
Yeah.
Double Dragon controversy.
Actually, there is no Double Dragon controversy. There's been news that they're going to release an update for River City Girls 2, and it's going to include Jimmy and Billy Lee.
It is, which makes sense. Which makes sense. But
yeah, it takes place in the same universe. So
it does.
Yep. Well, I'm going to start a controversy then.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah, I do.
Aren't you always starting controversy?
Isn't his own controversy?
I'm trying.
He goes outside of his home and said, "Controversy!" And people are like,
"Shenanigans!
Shut up!" And then he goes, "Shenanigans!" And somebody else goes, "Shut up!" He's like, "No!" Yeah.
Shenanigans!
Yeah.
Oh, you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm just done. Yeah, I'm done. I was just showing some of the fun comments, especially talking about the Tonka trucks.
Oh yeah, I was just.
I know I showed them before, but I was just showing them again.
Tonka.
But yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff still coming up on the Phantom Hooligans, and then of course on the Rumble channel there'll be some backup stuff on there. Cash Money Madness, all one word. So yeah.
I want to be a Phantom Hooligan.
I'll talk to Matt about it.
Okay, I want to be a fan. I want to be a Phantom Hooligan. I want the secret to go to ring. I want to know the secret handshake. I want to be a Phantom Hooligan.
Okay. Oh, God. You are a follower, not a leader.
That's right. I want to do it. Come on, man.
Let me in. Let me join your club, please.
He'll be out there each and every morning. Can I join? Can I join? Can I join? Go away.
Shine your head, Mr. Reisman. I'll be more than happy to shine your head, make sure everything's okay. Shine your chin, Mr. Cash.
But as
come
far
on,
as
come on. Yeah. All right.
Anyway. That's how I got this job.
Shut up, Aaron. As far as what's coming up on Pacific414, on Tuesday, I am going to play more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm getting closer to the end. Not quite there yet, but I'm getting closer. I still have 3 more chapters of the game to get through, so that'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern Tuesday on the YouTube channel, the Rumble channel, and the Twitch channel. And then Wednesday on Twitter, Rumble, and YouTube. We will welcome Fat Steven JFG to the channel, also known as Fat Steven Seagal, and he'll tell us about his YouTube journey, some of his favorite games that he likes to play, and how he got into graphic design. So, excuse me, that'll be a great conversation with him. Looking forward to it. And then Thursday, I will be on the Nerporial Lifeforms channel for his Chillporial stream, starting at 8 p.m. Central Time. That'll be 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. And then Friday, I'll be bringing democracy to the galaxy with Baron and Cash. That's
Yay.
right. We're gonna kill some bugs. We're gonna kill some robots.
Yes, we are.
I don't know about the robots yet, but they're doing a better job of killing us.
They just want a big hug, man. That's all.
Yeah.
They're misunderstood.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Come on, Scott. Give me a hug. Give me a hug.
Come on.
And then Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, I will be doing a special morning stream of Stellar Blade. Play that for a few hours before joining Baron later that night for our third part of Babylon 5 Season 5. And then, of course, next Sunday, Pop Talk again.
Yep, and
but it won't be at the same bad time, but it will be on the same bad channels because, like I said earlier, next Sunday I'm going to go see Empire Strikes Back in the theater, so it'll probably be more of an 8 o'clock show, 8 o'clock Eastern show for next Sunday. Yes.
Yep. Oh, and before Jace kills me, I better also mention that. Oh yes, on Thursday, because he probably will later on. Thursday, of course, 5:40. So 5:40 on Thursday. Yep.
Maybe I'll try to crash that party. We'll see if I'm alive.
But at this time, I want to thank everybody for watching this over on Twitter, over on the YouTube channels, Pacific414, Phantom Hooligans, Baron Norman Tags, Phantom Legacy, and also Baron Norman Tags Facebook. Thank you all very much. And of course, I do want to say hello to Cool Frog over on Rumble. Thank you for stopping by. Good to see you.
Ribbit.
And I also want to thank those of you who stopped by on YouTube. We had, of course, TGAP Steve with his latest iteration of Beverly Hills 414. Steve, you need to come to my office after the show. We need to have a talk. We also had everybody's favorite penguin besides Punk Waddle. Low Spec Linux Laptop. Stop in the chat. We had Phil McCracken, who was being Phil McCracken, so
always
that's always something that we come to expect. And then he swam in from the Pacific Ocean. We had Lord Crit of Everest Productions. You've been listening to Phil too much, Crit. Pop Talk heals and saves. That's a lot to ask for.
Well, see, while he was out there, so when he got harpooned, but then he started listening to us, and it healed him. It healed him. It went away. So.
And we also had Pops stop by. Good to see you, Pops.
Yep.
Always good to see him. And you can catch him on Tuesday for Talk Hard. And I'm sure he's going to have a great topic to discuss, usually a movie or TV show topic. I'm not sure what it is for this week, but I will check later on. But it's always good to see Pops. Leia Rose was here. Good to see you, Leia Rose.
Always.
Tim Stock was here. He was looking for the resident Vulcan Spock, but Spock wasn't on.
Nope.
Good to see you, Tim.
Yep.
We also had Jed Sparks, Prismatics, Anonymous, Anonymous, of course, Whoopa Troopa. Yes, Megatron.
Because he's a Woopa Troopa, mighty little Pokemon going. No, sorry.
And also Jason Fox of 540 Studio. Thank you all for, again, watching, supporting us. We can't do this without you. Again, whether you watched it on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, or Facebook, we really appreciate it. Make sure to hit those like buttons on their respective platforms and share out the stream. Consider following and subscribing to everybody's channel. And until next time, remember, don't ever give up on me in a game, because just when you do, you might miss something. Have a good rest of your Sunday, everybody.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Yeah, everybody on my channel, I'm sorry. I'm so very, very sorry. Oh. Yeah.
Nerds!
I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry.